Coming live from Beach Grove, Indiana. It's Bullshot. We're hanging out today at the Church of Cannabis. Well, it's not Beach Grove, is it?
Church of Cannabis.
The first
no, it's
Church of
south
Cannabis.
side of Indy.
Yeah, it's pretty close to Beach
Close,
Grove.
though.
Yeah. We're hanging out with Bill tonight, and got Will in the house, got Pixie in the house. So, how was everybody's daytime commute?
I laid in bed until I absolutely had to be up. And my commute was, I had to go back home twice, so I did it 3 times.
Right on.
The same shit for the day.
Yeah. Forgot something at home.
I also can't walk out of the house without forgetting things. It was alright, not bad. It's hot outside, but honestly not too terrible. I always enjoy my drive to church.
Yeah. So, the first Church of Cannabis, you guys hold your services on Wednesdays at what time?
7:30. Doors open at 7.
Heck yeah.
Every Wednesday. We do the live stream as well.
You do?
We
Oh,
do a live
yeah.
stream every week as well.
We've got a feral bank of nonsense dating back 8 years.
He backs his nonsense too. He's got all his records of his.
Yeah, one of these days we started on YouTube, and the numbers weren't good, and then this Facebook thing started to stream in-house. We started streaming on Facebook, and our numbers were really good. And then Facebook said, "Hey, I got an idea. I think we should start charging ad revenue."
We need money. We need our piece.
Well, as soon as they started charging ad revenue, your 5,000 friends went down to 250, and only 7 of them got to see your posts. The whole thing changed when he got greedy, So, I like to thank him for this, for Facebook, for the absolute delight service it is, where I get to, interact with absolutely everybody in the world. But I liked it better when it was open, when all 5,000 people who were in the friends list were able to see your shit. I will make posts and people will click on it 5 days later because it's the first day they've seen it, because I could only have exposure of, you can only have 600 people see your shit a day. Don't matter how many times you post.
Right.
So, yeah. But it's the greatest tool we've ever had for promotions and marketing since the flyers on the telephone pole. Yeah, well.
Yeah, we shoot our stuff over pretty much Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If I wanted
Twitch?
I'm sorry?
Did you say Twitch?
Twitch, yeah.
What is Twitch?
It's like a platform for gamers, really.
Oh, okay. I had completely gone the Pornhub route, so.
Every once in a while, we'll get, get somebody on Twitch, but it's not very often. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hi Twitch. I've never Twitched before.
We should check the comments.
Oh, check comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go live.
Hey, Jeanette, what's up?
Hey.
Who's on there?
Jeanette,
Carrie.
Hi, sweetie.
You need to fix these cameras up a little bit.
You want me to do?
Center everybody. Feels pretty good. I'm alright. Yeah.
Center?
So hopefully everybody can hear us. Don't have a mixer today. I accidentally lit the power at home, but fortunately they have an interface here that we were able to use. But hopefully
Thankfully, we have
StreamYard does a good job of processing it. So
Never sound system. That helps.
hell yeah.
Again, thankfully we have Sky.
So yesterday was 8 years, right? That's
Yeah,
cool.
well, 8 years at this building.
In this building. I was here for the first service, sitting right out in the yard because it was so packed in here they couldn't get everybody in, and they put a TV out there, but the stream wouldn't work.
That was chaos.
There were
That was-
cops.
We'll have 5 fire marshals standing in front of the bathrooms, and they're all sitting there. The one head fire marshal says, "Oh, we should cap this. We should put a restriction on it." And the fire marshal who liked us said, "If you do it to one church, you have to do it to all. And I don't think you would be liked on Christmas." So they don't put capacities on church. We called it about. We said it was 120. I think it was more like 150, but we had a good room. It was fun. We're celebrating love and life's great adventure in here, and we had churches protesting us across the street, and the one thing nobody got on film was those two ministers got into a fist fight over Bible verses. And we didn't get that filmed. But that's when they broke up and left because their two ministers had fought. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Think about two creatures basically in a fist fight.
Well, there was police interaction with my family that day, which wasn't here. It was at home.
They put the cameras on the telephone pole.
Well, they had the cameras on the telephone pole here,
Before you even started.
but you got to remember that I live up by the fairgrounds.
Right.
And at the time, I owned goats. And the goats decided it was time to go out for a walk outside the yard. And one of the neighbors got pissed. There's a goddamn goat in my yard. And we go, oh, that's Bill's goat. That's Bill's goat. Police come. And what's the deal with the goat? Oh, gate was open. Goats got out. Well, somebody put them in. Where's the owner? Well, the owner's running the First Church of Canada. Oh, God, him. All right, we'll chase the goats back in. So in my neighborhood, there were two officers chasing goats while we were here at service and while those two were fighting over there.
That's your tax dollars.
Huh?
That's good tax dollars spent right there.
Yeah, it was just, it made it for a complete day.
I'll support that expenditure.
There were
Wrangling
police
Bill's
all up
goats.
and down the street. They had cameras out. There were people. We had
They spent $30,000 of the taxpayers' money on our first day.
to make sure that we didn't light up.
Yeah, one ging joint. And, they also canceled, we had a fundraiser at the Vogue. And we had a lot of big bands, lined up. And all of a sudden, I got a call from Steve Ross at the Vogue. And he goes, Bill, yeah. You know that benefit I was going to have for you at the Vogue? And I said, yeah. It's canceled.
Oh, shit.
And I said, why? I can't tell you that, Bill. And Steve, we've been doing business. We've known each other for, 30 years. What the fuck's going on, man?
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'll tell you someday. Now, I accepted it. Of course, I stuck my nose in everybody's business and wanted to find out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Chief of police at the time was Captain Douche.
Ooh, that never happened.
Yeah, no.
Nice. I wish I had my buttons. Be hitting them.
No, I know his name. I sued him. I should know his name.
I sued him. I should know his name.
Anyway, he sent officers into Broad Ripple and basically said, when you have like Cottonmouth Kings at the Vogue and we look the other way, we won't look the other way if you have this benefit for Bill.
Wow.
Wow. I should have worn my don't be salty shirt, because that's some salty ass shit.
Oh yeah, well it was fun. It was exciting. It was pissing on the leg of the Republican Party as much as I possibly could, and I had a very big bladder.
No, yeah.
Had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you did this, man.
It was fun. It's
The last
exciting.
time I had you on a podcast, it was right around the time that
Started.
it started.
Oh, well,
He always makes a comment of he always tells me, he says, you helped me get Bill on one of my first podcasts where he was on CNN and then on my couch.
yeah.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was like, holy shit. That's dope.
I hit the promotions and marketing media whore lotto when I started the church, and it started with just a couple paragraphs.
Got the word out.
Well, fucking, all right, here I am at home on a Monday or a Tuesday. I went online and I filled out the paperwork, and and then roll around Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was. They said, "Here's your paperwork." It got approved by the state. Looking far out. I spent $40 and I got a piece of paper. I put six paragraph shit, 6 sentences. Hi, officially the first church of cannabis on the, blah, 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 blah. And I figured, maybe if we're lucky, 25, 50 people will give a fuck. I did not, imagine in my wildest dream that it would snowball.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you guys smoked marijuana?
Smoke it, eat it, rub it on my body, and lick its dirty little butt.
So the first time I met you was at a legalized marijuana show. And I'm pretty sure it was at the Melody Inn.
Yeah, I've been playing in, the legalized marijuana because in 2010, it was still a way to clear the room if you said the word marijuana or cannabis out loud. And in 2011, I ran for office.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you did. Governor.
No, first one was city county council.
Oh.
And I brought this with me.
Fuck yeah.
And we had, there's little trade shows for elections where all the politicians go into the same room. And, it's guys, whoever's running that season, all go into a room. And I came into that room and I put that plant down and I said, yeah, I'm running for city county council at large. And they were coming over and taking pictures with me in the plant.
Yeah.
Now, the people above me in the party, not above me, the dickheads who think they were above me in the party, got all pissed off, got red in the face, started bitching and moaning. Okay. I did okay. I had fun with it and I did okay.
Hell yeah. Well, when I first heard about it and, knowing like you were a big supporter in movement towards legalized marijuana, I mean, you've ran, what offices you run for?
I've run for city county council. I have run for state rep. I have run for governor. And I'm still old enough to be stupid.
I did vote for him.
I hope that I am always stupid.
I did.
Yeah. I love life, man.
More people should run for office. It doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Yeah.
It's standing up to the machine and saying, fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Take a flying fuck. And the only good thing, well, I don't know if it's a good thing. The only thing the last presidential election brought was you could come out and say, fuck the other guy, vote for me. And it's perfectly acceptable now.
Yeah.
Before you couldn't.
You can say whatever you want, apparently. You're allowed to make up any story you want.
Because
anything.
There's no more rules. There's no, there's benchmarks and stupidity all the way around, and you could hurdle those all day long.
Haley.
Yeah, fuck.
You're allowed to say
so
anything you want.
I might be stupid enough to
well, I'll tell
just
you what,
at
man.
least tease people.
You're allowed to take
I've
classified
heard-
documents home with you.
I've heard so many stories
Next to a copy machine.
about
In a
like
bathroom.
shows that you booked, and
Oh man.
some ones are like crazy. Like you put on a
Mondo Mondays at the Vogue.
Mondo Mondays broke more talent in Indiana than really anything. And I'm sorry we didn't have video cameras back then.
shit, man.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have video cameras too.
The flyers still exist. I see them all the time. People post them on your wall, or you post them. You're like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to where I got to experience like smoking in bars, And
Good.
Smoking, in
Smoking and
restaurants
drinking in bars is where it should be done.
Yeah.
You
You
should be
know?
able to. Yeah, you should be able to smoke in bars.
Up in Lapel, where I live, we smoke in our bars.
Yeah.
Some places in
Well,
Beach
they're
Grove do it.
VFWs and moose lodges and
Oh, yeah.
social clubs. You
Yeah.
can smoke in a social club. You can
You
establish
can
a
still smoke
social
at the
club.
Antelope. Yeah, right. At the Antelope, you can.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the Antelope Club. Hey, what's up? You can still smoke inside there, and it's a bar.
Oh, I
and
know.
eat
There's a cigar bar.
It's nice. But yeah, you have to have a social club license. It's ridiculous.
Huh.
Yeah, other places no, but you know, if you know the right
Country
places.
clubs, of course, you can.
I won't leave the house if I can't smoke a cigar there. Fuck them.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why when we're doing the punk rock market, we're doing it outside.
Side. Yeah, that's the weather permitting. Yeah, next Friday, the punk rock
The 7th.
market on the
Oh,
7th.
Oh God, is next Friday first Friday again? Yeah, I
It
guess so.
is. It is.
It's
Retrograde
got,
Apparel.
I gotta
Punk
go
Rock
out.
Night,
I gotta do stuff. Okay,
First
I
Church
can do
Cannabis.
this. I'm a big
Yeah.
boy.
Covert Flop,
Huh?
Missing
I'm gonna-
Fingers.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know if I got the other two bands. What's the other two?
Prozac.
Prozacs, and we got one more.
Oh man.
Right? I don't have it in front of me.
I can't
But it's
remember.
Retrograde Punk Rock Night. All ages free.
By the way,
they are accepting
your
band
shirt is very
donations.
sexy.
What's that?
Your shirt is very sexy.
You like that? The
I like
eyeballs?
that, yeah.
I asked the girlfriends which shirt to wear, and they both said the eyeballs.
I like that.
They were like, if you're going on the show, wear the eyeballs. So
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I'm cut off of the neck now, so you can't see the eyeballs, but that's what they're talking about.
It's Prozacs, Mr. Denton on Doomsday, Missing Fingers, and Covert Flops.
There it is.
Yeah.
They are it's a free show, but they are accepting band donations. I plan to drop a couple 20s in that donation
Starts
bucket.
at 5, but the bands come on at 7.
Yeah. Bands are 7 to 10. Thing starts at 5 o'clock. If weather permitting, Rich said that it would be inside and outside. If not weather permitting, everything will transpire inside. So they have plans either way, if it rains or not.
So Will has been to more punk rock nights this year than I have.
I think Will's been to more punk rock nights than you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do this. All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend 2 minutes and say what the deal is. All right. I separated from my wife last year. I did not get to go to as many shows as I wanted to while I was in that relationship. By the way, BB was at Punk Rock Night, hung out a little bit with us last night, which is really cool. She came out, had a good time, bought a couple drinks. But in that relationship, I was not able to go to Punk Rock Night as often as I would like to. So when I separated from that relationship, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to go to as many as I could. I was going to go every single week, and that was going to be my spot to unwind, unravel, relax, watch bands, and hang out with my friends. And I have spent, I'm weird with numbers. Like, you guys don't see shit, but I'm really weird with numbers. I've spent over $7,000 on this journey so far. Covers, band merch, drinks, food. It's something I'm doing for myself. I don't care if anybody wants to support me in doing it. I'm doing it for myself, and I'm going to be there every week. I'm going to be there every fucking week.
Hold on, motherfucker. You track your drinking
I do, but so I don't drink too
financially?
much. So I don't drink too much. Yeah, I do. Like we have a certain amount of rounds we drink
I
per
put
night.
bars out of business.
Hell yeah, man. That's fucking dope.
I'm weird. I'm very weird with numbers. When it comes to money and financially, I track everything.
Oh God.
I have to, because that's the only way
No, if you're OC about numbers, God bless you.
that's how I get
God bless you.
ahead. That's how I
Yeah.
get ahead.
All right. However you get heads, your business.
Yeah, that's how I do it. And every week I have a certain amount of money I can spend at Punk Rock Night, and I spend that certain amount of money every single week at Punk Rock Night.
I
And
get that.
that's my spot to let go, let loose, and enjoy my hard-earned week at doing bullshit. I do like my job. I do like killing bugs. I mean, I do like.
So, 3 of us at this table have experience booking shows.
Yes.
Casey, have you ever booked shows?
Me and Bill.
It's
me
like
and Bill did shows together.
A real pain in the ass.
I've definitely
Hey.
friends with or dated people
Won't do it
who
again.
book shows.
We got computers now.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Sure do.
So
Listen,
that's-
I remember when the first guy had a fax machine in New York. Frank Riley. And he goes, what do you mean you don't have a fax machine? It's like, I live in fucking Indiana. What is a fax machine? He goes, you send documents through. And I went and I looked, and they were about $600. And we ended up finding one. I think somebody's business, a printer shop. Elite Printing had one. We love Elite Printing in Indianapolis at 54th off of Keystone. Please visit them for all your printing needs. I gotta love them. But yeah, they had a fax machine, and then Karma started getting them. And I worked at Karma, so yeah. But booking bands without, having to wait 7 days for the contract to come, had to cross shit off the contract, send it back, and have them call you up and go, "What the fuck you doing crossing the shit off? You ain't gonna get it."
Sounded like that was going to start with back in my day.
Everything is done by email now.
We had to
So,
walk 5 miles up to
like,
the-
motherfucker.
So what I
Exactly.
took,
No,
Dude,
both
Bill,
ways,
did
yeah.
you used to make your own flyers?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
ever do that?
yeah.
so
So much fun. I like.
We
like
published
hands-on
too. We had
So you worked for the other company?
we had Mondo, the Mondo Gazette, Frenzy magazine,
it's
Kamikaze. These are all flyers and stuff. Stuff made on copy machines. Back then, you cut magazines apart and put letters on
hell yeah.
with Scotch tape.
now that's an art aesthetic.
Yeah, now it's called art. Back then it was called necessity. Who has another K? I need a K for the end of this. Yeah,
When I started booking, I took what Bill and Greg, what I saw them doing, or what I'd heard Bill had done.
I couldn't find my lighter.
I took what Bill and Greg were doing, and then the Facebook thing had started, and I mixed it with that,
Hell yeah.
and that's how I did my thing. I just
So
blasted everybody, guerrilla. Whether you wanted to know about it or not, you fucking knew about it.
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Where's my stuff?
Where's this? Where's the church broadcasted on Wednesdays? Like online?
Just
Their page.
just our page.
Yeah.
Facebook.
We've got a library of 5 years, 7 years on there,
Mm-hmm.
and the other ones are all on YouTube. And nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Well, shoot.
More people watch the service after
So-
the fact as opposed to watching it live.
I pay $50 a month for StreamYard,
Yeah.
and it's like normally when I have my
You could be on Twitch.
like usually when I have my mixer, like it's like it's so much fun. But yeah, it's like YouTube and it goes everywhere, and it makes it the reason why I haven't put it on Spotify and iTunes personally, because I could if I wanted to, but just go to the website, set it up.
Yeah.
A couple days later, they're all going to be on there automatically. But I want I would like to not have to pay the $50 for the fucking
Right
StreamYard.
to do that, right?
So eventually, YouTube will pay if enough people get into it. But that's just depends on when I get tired of fucking sitting down, hanging out with people drinking.
That doesn't happen until
Probably
your
gonna
late
be
40s.
never.
so.
Really,
Bill doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah. I haven't had a drink since '88.
Yeah.
right on.
Do you remember the band The Mentors?
Yeah, of course. Seen them. Fuck
All
yeah.
right. El Duce and I were friends. I flew him to the Indiana the first time for them to play outside of California. And I brought them every time they were on tour.
Mm.
They would stay at my house. It was one of those unfortunate instances where they actually stayed with me.
Mm.
I never turn a challenge down, and drinking with El Duce was quite a challenge. We got thrown out of every single bar north of Washington Street over a 6-week period.
Damn.
And then finally he left to go home. I mean, a couple days before, we were standing at the liquor store at 7 a.m. waiting for him to open at 49th
Dry
and
out.
College. Well, we need another case of beer here.
Left you to
And he
dry.
went home, and that's it. A nice 6-week binge with Al. I found bottom. Y'all find bottom sooner or later, but
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning for 6 weeks straight.
It'll do
It
it.
was a fabulous detox. Yeah, it wasn't fun and it wasn't easy, but I look back and I go, you fool. Go out, find the edge, have as much fun as you can on it.
That's why I track the drinks. So I know
Mm.
where. I know where.
Yeah.
I know what
Stay,
round not to
stay
go
at the
down.
edge as long as you can because you build memories if you could remember them.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, well, 78 to 88 were my drinking years, so I keep hearing great stories.
He
I had this year.
has millions and millions of stories. And they're all beautiful.
I know.
He's a lovely, lovely man. Yeah. What was your first show?
The first events were 4th of July events with my father. My father would bring home cases, crates of fireworks, and we lived in a cul-de-sac.
Pretty good time.
So every 4th of July, I would invite all my friends over and we'd blow up the fucking block. We, boom, 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 boom. And by the time I was 14, I said, hey, getting a case would be a great idea. Not a case, it was cases first and then it was kegs.
Mhm.
So, we're all underage. We're all drinking like fish.
How old are you at this point?
Young, 14,
Woo.
13. Drinking and driving was an active sport until 1988. It was not illegal to drink and drive. They might say it was, but nobody ever paid attention to it because they were coming home or going to happy
You can't
hour.
tell me I can't take my
My
beer in my
grandfather tells-
car.
my grandfather
Yeah,
tells
this
me-
is my
told me this-
property. Yeah.
My grandfather told me a story of he was in Chicago and a cop pulled him over. He was 15 and he was lit on whiskey. Lit. He was
Lit.
only 3 miles from home. Got pulled over by the cop. The cop escorted him home.
Yeah.
Make sure he got parts. Got in his house. No charges.
Yeah.
My grandfather later went on to become a state police officer and everything.
I used to live on Delaware in Kessler, and I had officers pull me out of trees and front porches and say, can you make it home? Okay, we'll follow you. You used to be able to take out a telephone pole on Westfield and nobody gave a shit. Now you got insurance and comps and, they're going to make you pay for the pole and all this other stuff. Back then, just snap the fucker and see if you can pull out from it. We also had ducks in Broad Ripple back then.
Now you just have cobra chickens.
Yeah, well, Broad Ripple got its death note the other day. All bars must close at 1.
1 a.m. I saw that. How do they get it?
Alley
1
Cat
a.m.
closing at 1 a.m. That's
Alley
a
Cat.
sin.
Oh, that's
a
I feel bad
sin.
for the Alley Cat. I do feel bad for the Alley Cat because they have you seen the fancy front end now? Though? Have you seen? There's 2 Alley Cats.
That just reminds me of
The-
like CBGB's grungy, horrible place that we all loved. And then right next to it was their little folk thing, CBGB's Light. And it was all nice wood and sanded and everything. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, the 2 Alley Cats. Yeah. But
Yeah,
the
you're
front
going to
end-
have something for the snobs and something for the knobs.
Yeah.
We're the knobs. I've been a knob forever in the Alley Cat. I love it.
Since this pandemic, things are really like going backwards in a way. Like, it used to be like every Walmart, every Meijer, every gas station, every Taco Bell,
Oh,
every
24
McDonald's.
hours.
Everything was 24 hours. There's a 24-hour Subway. Actually, there still is one. It's out off Post Road 74. You're welcome.
Taco truck. Thank goodness for taco trucks.
Mhm.
Thank goodness for taco. I hit a taco truck last night at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
There was
well,
No shit.
man.
yeah.
But I'm talking like every day.
Everything,
But that's just
right.
disappearing.
It's gone
And even the ones that are open, they can't get anybody
to work
to work.
Yeah.
So everybody's short staffed.
There's a Steak and Shake off of Washington, almost to Cumberland. It's 24 hours.
Ain't nobody trying to make your jalapeno poppers. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. It completely altered our entire culture. We're moving. So like Broad Ripple bars closing at 1 o'clock. I would say it's,
So
is
crazy.
it
I
a
don't know how
danger
that's gonna
thing?
Well, that's a
Are they worried
safety
about
issue.
crime?
It is. It's crime, but it's. I don't understand how it's gonna work. That's gonna put a lot of those bars like under, because a lot of their money is made from 1 a.m. to 3:30 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alley Cat banks between
1 a.m.
1
3 a.m.?
and 3:30. The
That's-
best show on earth
Sorry, that's
starts
where the
at
most money's spent.
2:30. It's in the alley by the Alley
That's why I
Cat.
go home
I
early.
used to get up just to go to the Alley Cat at 2 or 2:15 in the morning to watch the show for 90 minutes.
Yep.
So, like, growing up, are you from Broad Ripple? Like, did
Oh,
you go to Broad
thank
Ripple High
you.
School?
You think I'm a grown up? Where, what was the question?
Where are you from, man? You from Indy?
Born in Chicago, raised in Indy, went to
yeah.
school in Maine, and then I got thrown out, thank God. And then I went to school in Cleveland.
Right
And
on.
then I moved back to Maine, and then I moved back
Big
to
Cleveland guy right here.
Indianapolis.
He's a big Cleveland guy.
Yeah.
right
Smart.
Oh, okay. You know Coventry?
Yeah. I know, like, I just grew up in Northern Ohio, like, where Mansfield, Ohio is?
Yeah.
It's like Ashland County. I lived in Ashland. It was really tiny.
Okay, we lived
bitty.
over in Shaker and University Heights.
Okay, yeah. So you're like right outside of Cleveland, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I
Might
don't
as
know
well be
where the
Cleveland.
boundary lines were
Right,
anymore,
yeah.
but yeah.
Kind of like Chicago.
Yeah.
So you grew up. Where did you go to school in Maine?
Hyde Academy for Men.
Was that like a wait?
It's a little prep school thing
Okay,
where you
okay.
got a little blue blazer and a little fucking logo here.
No
And
women.
they're going to make a man out of you.
And no women.
Oh, no, not then. A couple of the guys, maybe. It was a loathsome, hateful place where as soon as I walked into it, I knew I had to escape. And I was 13 years old. And I put my thumb out and I hitchhiked down to Boston.
Hmm.
And I stayed with some guy who had 6 roommates. They didn't even notice me. And then he goes, dude, you got to go find another place. I'm going to take you over here. I said, okay, fine. We'll go try this place. And he took me to the White Panther Party, which was a commune at the time.
The what?
The White Panther Party in Boston.
Okay.
Now, I went over there and they got me high as fuck. But before I passed out, I wanted to make some bread. So I did it and I got it and I put it in the oven. Now they smoked me out and I passed out. Didn't pull it out of the oven. Caught on fire, burned, stunk up the whole house. John Sinclair came storming around going, who the fuck did this? All right, you get the fuck out. I've been wanting to run into John Sinclair, who's up in Michigan, for 50 years, just so I could look at him and go, hey, fucker, remember I burnt the bread in your place?
So somebody commented to ask Bill about Guar and Slaughterhouse 5 at Howard Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We got to hear this Guar song.
Uh,
Hey, Jenny. Hey, Jess.
hi, guys.
Hey, Jeanette. We got to hear
Guar is the typical show where they were coming out of the vagina, giving birth, squirting jizz all over the first 6
late
rows.
80s.
Oh, 88.
Okay, so
It's
early
what-
war. Very early.
Very early.
Okay.
They were still experimenting with things.
Yeah, they were just starting to do their
Yeah. And the blood and the
Squirts,
sperm and
yeah.
the giant penises and all this. And it's an all-age show at Howard Johnson's directly across the street from the state police station.
Guar right across the street from the
State police station.
doing an all ages show.
In a
yeah.
Howard Johnson's ballroom.
Different time.
Howard Johnson.
And the opening act was 5 bass players. And you just said their name.
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
5 bass players.
5 bass players. The band was 5 bass players. And they had TVs set up on stage. And one of them was
Perfect.
about at this height. About this height. I don't know where the camera is. And they brought a stripper with them. And this stripper took off her clothes
Best story.
in a mannerism with the music. And on the screens were bestiality films of people doing strange things. And this girl pulled out some Barbasol and a razor and foamed up her box, spread it wide open on top of a pig fucking, and started shaving her box.
Because all ages.
At an all ages show. Now, dads are loving it because
Across
dads had to take the kids. The kids are running around squealing. I'm running upstairs, getting a new room under an alias because I'm absolutely sure that state police were going to be called.
Because they're across the street.
Yeah, they're right across the street.
Right there.
They never showed. I hid. Everybody got paid, and there were no arrests. Yeah, yeah, that was brutal.
And that was before Guam.
Yeah, they weren't. That was just another traveling band.
At the time.
Yeah.
I brought gifts.
Uh-oh.
I brought gifts. So I watched. Oh, Karma told me to give this to you for next week. It's a gift certificate to Karma that will be at the Punk Rock Market next week, and it's going to PRN. So I'm supposed to.
Oh,
give that to
well,
you.
we
Thank
love
you for doing
Karma.
Yeah.
Hey,
Really
Jeff Wicks,
appreciate
I
that.
love you wherever you are, you silly bastard.
But I saw I saw the VHS thing that you've been doing lately on shows and everything. So I wanted to bring you a VHS.
Hell
of
yeah,
Men in
man.
Black.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Steven Spielberg classic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
then I brought
Hell yeah.
I
Thank
actually
you.
brought everybody gifts. You're actually gonna get 2 gifts. But the first one, let's see.
Is it a
I'm
lazy
gonna give Bill-
lazy hog
No,
vinyl?
not at all. These are used vinyls. I brought you a Kinks album.
Oh, well,
Nice.
bravo.
That's
State of Confusion,
I brought
the Kinks. All
I
right.
brought you some humor because I think you need to laugh a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's how I brought you some old George Carlin.
Nice.
Indecent Exposure.
Thanks, man.
And then I brought Pixie.
It's
Oh,
perfect.
my.
I bought Pixie a Muppet vinyl.
Thank you.
It's the Muppet.
Dude, that's the.
It's the Muppet.
Does it have
that's
banana or
brilliant.
whatever?
A better one.
Hey, see if it has manamina.
Manam.
Everybody at home's like, you fucking dick. Now all day today, everybody at home, whoever's watching is gonna be like,
Hear that, Scotty? It has. Yeah.
do.
Manamina.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I figured everybody would like that. Actually, I was talking to the Crafton boys, and I was like, "You think the Kinks would be a good album for Bill?" And they were like, "Yeah." They were like, "That's his time."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I just wanted to get you silly shit.
Thanks.
Karma
man.
West or
And then
Karma
we're
East?
Muppets. We're Muppets.
Karma
So,
wants to come.
no, Post. I live over there.
Post.
Post
Yeah, well,
Road.
that's East.
Yeah, Post. Yeah, Karma East.
That's my hood.
I live over there. I live in the
went to
neighborhood
Warren.
just west of the state police training.
I
don't know.
I see that store, and we did a
Oh, they tell me all kinds of stories about promos there.
we had Ace Frehley in, just Ace,
Just a
and his rotten fucking manager. It was an autograph thing, and we didn't have a box of sharp Sharpies hanging around. We only had, ooh, look at this. And the hand goes away. We didn't have any sharp Sharpies. We just had regular store Sharpies. You know, I didn't get any new ones. And the manager came in, pulled his pen out, pulled this Sharpie out. How do you expect Ice to sign autographs with this Sharpie? It's not a sharp Sharpie. It's a dull Sharpie. Go get some fucking sharp Sharpies. Now, my first instinct is to say, oh, you motherfucker, get out of my face. I'm representing Dave Crockett. I'm representing Karma. I can't do that. I have to go out and I have to get these goddamn pens. Now, of course, there's not a fucking place on that corner that sells these pens. Why would they sell, felt tip markers at a flea market across the street that had 6 aisles you had to run up and down?
Yeah.
But we finally got there, and I told Crockett the story of this rude bastard later when I got back at the office. He looked at me, he said, "You should have told that cocksucker to get the fuck out of the store and close the goddamn thing." And I go, "Really?
Yeah.
I could have?" He goes, "Never take shit from those people."
That was in Karma East.
That was the owner of the Karma.
Oh,
Dave
owner.
Crockett. He owned
Nice.
45 stores at the time.
Now it's down to
Well,
3.
Yeah,
Right.
well, it's when MP3s
Yeah.
made it into Billboard magazine, Dave Crockett saw the writing on the wall and knew that vinyl and tape and everything else was going away. And he said, "I'm selling all my stores to the managers or to whoever wants to buy one." And they started liquidating. And they
Wow.
liquidated and they liquidated and they liquidated. And some people bought stores, did good, others did not. Jeff knew the business inside out. Jeff had been in the business for decades. So him
Right.
buying a couple stores made perfectly good sense.
Yeah.
But
And-
then they had that Ticketmaster issue.
Yeah.
Because the house was built on paper and you cannot build houses on paper.
Now your tickets are on your phone. You don't get those. Unless,
Yeah.
unless you get
And the service
giveaways.
charge is 3 times larger.
Yeah.
What service did you give that would require anything above $1.95? Nothing. $1.95 is okay when you buy a
Digital.
ticket, but when you start seeing $20, $30, $50 service charges, fuck your greedy asses with fucking sandpaper condoms.
Ask.
Didn't you say for $300 a ticket you put a loincloth on again and get on stage?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
300.
But I don't want a service charge.
Some of these festivals we go to, they're
Yep.
they're
You know,
$400 for a 3-day pass.
I pay $350, something like that for the 4 days Lowry.
I used to do Bonnaroo all the time. It was insane.
what you guys are paying for tickets is what we used to pay the bands.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Chili Peppers, first time I bought them, $50, $75.
So you booked. So, okay, what was your favorite show you ever booked? What was your favorite?
Are you talking musically or personnel wise?
Let's do musically and then financially. That did the best.
Wow. I only remember the losers.
Chili
Well,
Peppers.
Husker Du was an obvious at the patio.
Husker Du. He was at the Mel the dude from Husker Du was at the Mel the other night with
That's
Joker
right.
Bombs.
Yeah.
The patio legal was, 175, 200. We had 350
We booked
people
some
in there.
great bands at
Hell
the
You
patio.
could not hit the floor if you wanted to. You were held up by other people. And
patio stories.
Husker Du, they're so quiet and delicate. The whole room vibrated and the people in it were part of the vibration. It
Yeah.
was just like a huge hum. Absolutely outstanding. And all the crying kids standing in the street looking through the window going, "I think I see him."
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Kids standing outside they
was
couldn't
that,
get in.
was that Mondo Mondays?
No, that's
That-
the patio.
Patio.
Yeah, he booked
what,
so
what circa are we talking? How long were you booking at the patio?
All right. Let me think of the bookings.
Chili Peppers.
All right, in 79 and 80, it was third base. 78, 79 maybe. It was third
Third
base
base.
downtown.
So what is third base, real quick?
It was
Third base Jazz Loft was a jazz club on the second floor of our restaurant. Third base. Third base, last stop before home.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so that's the first place you did shows.
Yeah, probably.
She said 79 to 80.
78, 79, I think. Because by 80, I had Carfax and we had started doing warehouse shows.
And that's a picture I've seen of you and Marvin in front of
Johnny
the store-
Quest, yeah.
in front of the store. Yeah,
It
the black and white.
was-
Go find that picture. That picture is amazing, by the way. It's their story.
I went to Europe as a contract agent for Karma. Okay. And my job was to bring back European posters. Now, these were the big posters that we didn't have in America. And they brought much larger dollar than the American posters.
Imports.
Yeah, they were imports.
Yeah.
I went around the UK collecting these imports, and
Like artifacts.
I
Like
came
a hippie
home
Indiana Jones.
with
I mean-
19 logs like this because you could only bring 2 bags.
Yeah.
You get yourself a big bag,
You roll it.
you could hold anything in it. They weren't going by weight back then in the air travel days.
And you can smoke
So-
on planes.
Well, I had a carry-on like a golf bag,
Right.
but it was 19 logs of posters. It weighed more than you, me, and everybody at this table. And I was bringing that in through customs.
Just posters. Band posters.
Band posters, show posters, theater posters, just shitloads of them. And while I was in the UK, Karma got busted for being, all right, the name of the company wasn't Karma, it was Ultra Graphics.
Ultra graphics.
Ultra Graphics made posters the width of an album cover and 18 inches tall,
Yeah.
so they could fit in the record bins.
Nice.
But they never paid to license any of the posters. They just made them and
The money.
sold them.
Huh.
They were in Spencer's across America.
There was no internet to track it back then.
Well, they when you're in every Spencer's across America, all of a sudden the bands go in there and go, does Michael Jackson know his poster's selling out in the store? Does Bruce Springsteen know it? It was Springsteen and Michael Jackson were the 2 biggies who were coming down on people. And then it was, of course, Dear Dave Matthews.
He's
Were
just
the
like-
big people who were, what are you doing knocking my shit off?
Yeah.
So I ended up with the posters and I opened up Carfax because I didn't, what are you going to do with all these? And we got tired of sitting around and we started doing leather and rubber tooling. And then I started making rubber dresses and skirts and,
For punks and
well, mostly touring female rock singers. Come on.
your connection with is it Wendy? Your Wendy didn't you?
Wendy O. Williams, we catered that show.
There you go.
Johnny Quest and I said we'd cater that show because back then it was a difficult show to cater because you had to go to a health food store to get everything she wanted.
Right.
And there was no place in the area that had no fat milk. Okay. No fat milk, which we see in the grocery store all day, every day now, didn't exist back then. And we finally, when they got here, she goes, well, just get me this brand of powdered milk, which is some kind of natural brand, I
Right.
don't remember, and bring me some spring water. They, okay, fine. If that'll work for you, honey, we got you covered. And we hung out with her all day. Sweet girl. Sweet.
But you didn't make her any like
No.
clothing or-
I
So, I
actually,
mean, that's
I was
her
actually
style.
looking at her stuff, seeing how it was made.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So you did that
Yeah.
at Carfax. You got into the leather,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what after that? Did you start doing the Mondos at the Vogue?
Mondo started either the end of the first year or the second year the Vogue was open because Mondays were dead days.
So that's
Mon-
the days they gave you. They were like, bring us business on our
Right.
on our
Bring
least
in
busy
business on a
day.
Monday. And the only people who were off were all the waiters and waitresses. Now, if you're out drinking every day, you know all the waiters and waitresses. And if there's a party just for them on Mondays, well, hell yeah, they're going to go. That's their day off. And we started a basic gong show. We had Don from Don's Guns. We had
just
Ace from
love to sell
Q95. We had the owner of the alley, Cat Ray, who was an original OG. I mean, no bullshit. Ray was OG as hell. And forgive me, whoever else I can't think of. There was a fourth. But all sorts of people popped
Right.
from those shows. We were letting in minors.
No, it's a vote under 21.
Back then, it didn't matter.
Didn't matter, right?
It was 1988 changed the world because Mothers Who Drunk Driving came out the same year that everybody got a desktop computer. And we all had modems.
Remember that sound? I'm old enough to know that sound.
Yeah.
My kids have, when I reference that, my kids have no idea. They're like,
I was talking about
what is
how
dial-up?
We'll
What?
complain because your phone is taking 3 seconds
To
load something,
spin?
and you're like, why is it taking so long?
What's
Like,
this-
but there was a time
what's
when
this
it took
dial
5
thing
minutes
mean?
just to start the internet, and that wasn't even like to load your browser,
Yeah.
like the whole thing.
But that's what I'm saying. He did all this show stuff. No internet, no nothing.
Get off the internet. I need to use the phone.
Yeah.
So after Mondo, is that when you started the patio?
No, we ran the Mondos in when
Same
while
time?
still at the patio. Yeah, no, that
You
lasted
said
years.
Chili Peppers. You're like Smashing Pumpkins was around that time, weren't they?
I think they came around. I don't know. Smashing Pumpkins came in after I left. I think that was Randy Roy who did that. No, they're Meat Puppets, Chili Peppers,
Melvins, of course.
Faith No More, Soundgarden.
Did they play here a lot?
The Chili Peppers and Soundgarden. There's a rule in rock and roll. If you want to become a super band,
Yeah.
you go open up for a super band tour. Now, Faith No More had Soundgarden.
What's that?
Oh, my keys are sitting right there.
You opened up.
Thank you.
Like the first big pitch was when Guns N' Roses opened up for Aerosmith on their tour.
Is Aerosmith
Guns
a
N'
local
Roses
band or
paid Aerosmith $250,000
Wow.
to
Pay
let
to
us open up
Pay to play,
for
yeah.
12 shows
still-
on this tour, or 20 shows, or whatever the fuck the tour was.
They still do that. There are bands in the Midwest that Model Stranger, my buddies from Chicago, they get offered to do tours, but they have to pay.
Yeah.
They have to pay to go on this tour.
Yeah.
Like it's
Rock and roll's a pay to play.
wild.
Huh.
Yeah, well,
You buy on. It's a buy on a tour. You buy onto.
you buy onto the tour.
Right.
Well, the
Guns N' Roses paid Aerosmith.
all
to
these
pay.
bands bought onto the tours, and when they became headlining, like Faith No More,
I wonder how much access.
they were Faith No More had Soundgarden open for them. But Soundgarden was had come
Well,
through
Chris
with
and
about
Pat.
4 other people,
Mhm.
because Soundgarden was a touring motherfucking band, and so were the Chili Peppers.
You said the first time you got Chili Peppers was $50.
Yeah, they were 50.
$50.
Well, they had already played town for $50 a number of times, and then they went to
$50.
75, 150 maybe, and then it went up to 350, and then 750.
I can't get.
And the
hardly someone to play for
750,
less
they
than
wanted
1,000.
tube socks with it.
Tube socks.
That's the era when all the contracts started becoming weird. 200 feet of barbed wire. That was a Zero Boys thing.
So did you watch the
yeah.
increase in the Chili Peppers? Like it went from $50 to
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
they got socks on their dicks. So now,
I
now
jumped
it's
off
500.
that boat at 750.
So we're talking about readers, right? Like the list of stuff that is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Wendy Williams, like her specialty foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
What do you think the worst one, like the most ridiculous one was?
Most ridiculous thing you had to cover for an artist.
I only did that once or twice.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. I was always buying the acts. I wasn't doing the catering. That
Very
was a top dollar act back in the day. I couldn't afford that one.
What?
Go
Did
You
you
shut
left
it.
shut
your
it?
door open, it's pouring down rain.
Just go shut it. It's an
Thank
open
you,
door.
Scott.
Your door's
Yeah.
open.
I can get it, man.
Oh, it's fine.
And your windows were down.
Somebody, either side.
If somebody
We're forgetful
tried to
people.
steal my truck, I swear, God.
No, it was open when I got. It was open when I got here. I thought you were coming out there to get stuff or something.
I think you probably.
I
You left
just-
it open.
You had a lot going on.
My co-host tonight, Will Slusher.
I'm trying.
Dude, he did help me get this stuff put up. So,
That's right. Scotty.
so did
yeah, Scotty.
So did Pix. Thank you guys. My voice is like completely out.
That was a good show last night.
Back-to-back shows.
Operators was great last night. Did a bunch of dancing. Ska
Yeah,
bands last night. Ska bands last night at Punk Rock Night.
It's Sax Max.
So there's people moving. Craig had his little shimmy going. I mean, it's the slightest of shimmies, but you can tell Craig's having a good time when he gets that shimmy going.
What's the other band? Like
Sex
Space Monkey.
Space Monkey Mafia.
Space Monkey.
I really
Really good.
I
Yeah.
really like Sex Mix, the electronic punk band like that.
From Texas.
Yeah, from Texas. That drummer was insane.
Yeah.
It just
He was.
I
did a great job.
will always be impressed with
we gotta
drummers
get
that
Bill-
sing.
We gotta get
It's
Bill
fucking
back out to
dope.
Punk Rock Night.
Mad respect to people that could
Next
do all
week?
that shit and
No.
sing.
I know, not good luck. Because are you coming next Friday to the market?
Yeah.
The First Church Cannabis is
Oh,
part of
yeah.
it. So Bill will be at a Punk Rock Night. He'll be there Friday
Damn.
night in Fountain Square. So we don't have to try very hard because it's already happening.
Oh, wow.
We don't have to try very
We did
hard.
it! We did it,
Except-
everybody!
except
Yay!
Had to hey, Phil,
Remember?
leave the house. He was like, you're getting me to leave the house twice
Yeah,
in the same month.
yeah.
Yeah. So you mean, it's
Yeah.
easy for you to get him out to Punk Rock Night. I had to.
Yeah, it's gonna be
muster up
Yeah, I'm only doing 30 days out of the house.
You
It'll be a
know,
good time.
I
Fun.
always do my podcast like in my garage.
It does.
And
In Lapel, 45 minutes.
it's the luscious
That way.
loins of Lapel, Indiana. But this is the first one since the rebirth of Chopped Liver podcasting that was not in a home per se. Yeah. So like this is really dope.
Yeah, you're sitting on his
Yeah.
where he does his sermons.
I should kind of like turn the camera and be like, check it out, y'all.
That was why I wanted to.
Bam.
This is for services.
Yep,
Sound
it's for
dope.
holder services. We can fit about 50 people on each side of the pews.
Wednesdays at
7:30 p.m. Doors open at 7.
3400 South Rural, exit 107 off of I-65.
Tell us about a little bit about what you what the word you spread. Tell us about.
Tag Griffin said, "Hi, I love you."
Hi, Tag. Love you.
Hi, Tag. I love you. Our major goal is to help our community. Thanks, Tag. Great tag in time. Thank you, brother. We work with Hearts in Hand Homeless Outreach Group. You can join them on Facebook. Tell them you saw it here on Chopped Nuts.
Chopped liver.
Chopped liver.
Chopped liver show
Chopped nuts.
mixed nuts.
Chopped Nuts.
Yeah, the
chopped
show
liver.
is mixed nuts. So
Yeah, okay.
I didn't think about that.
Sunday.
Chopped nuts.
Sunday show.
Mixed liver.
We'll have like
Well, look,
special,
okay.
Mixed liver,
The
chopped
re- the
nuts.
reason-
special.
The reason the
mixes called
midweek,
chopped nuts.
the reason the midweek crisis and the Church of Cannabis can't happen at the same time is because they are at the same time. Chopped Liver's midweek crisis place when it's 7:30, and they start service at Wednesday at 7:30. So here we are, mixed nuts,
Having
on
special
Sunday.
quality time.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget, anybody at home, if you want to come on the show, click the link.
Yeah.
Please wear clothes.
Yeah. You just have to
Um,
wear just enough clothes.
What about the
Yeah, the
Yeah.
word, the word that
Yeah,
you
our word is love and take care of the community, and that's why we partner up with Hearts in Hand Homeless Outreach every week to serve our friends on the street. There is a large group of people in this community, and probably every community, that cannot find affordable housing.
Mm.
They also need social help. They might need help detoxing. They might need help financially. They might need help. They need help. Okay, doesn't
Yeah,
matter what the hell
right.
it is.
Right, doesn't matter.
We go out and we try to take care of them. Now, our ultimate goal is to have basically a Canatarian center where they can come, shower, shave, do their laundry, get a hot meal.
And not feel like they're in jail.
Yeah, it's there is no such thing as a homeless welcoming center, and we need one because every single day there are dozens of family that become homeless and they don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
They are in panic mode. They don't know where to go, who to outreach to. We need to have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week house of love where people have the knowledge that they can come there and figure out where to get a tent or get a tent and go camp out at one of these locations.
Yeah.
We need permanent homeless camps with trash service and utilities. I would like to have a campsite area built, but that's after getting a facility to serve and feed, serve and cook. Sorry, Tag, I caught it. Anyway, Tag should be here, but he's not.
But most of the message is love.
Yeah, it's all about helping everybody.
Protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we follow Dee Dozen, and there's 12 of them. The first one is don't be an asshole, treat everyone with love as an equal. Now, the importance of that line is real, it's do unto others as others would do unto you. But we added in that one word, which I find beautiful because it is technically in our Holy Scripture. So if I ever go to Congress or if I ever go in front of the State House, I am able to use my scripture under the Religious Freedom Act and address these assholes in the proper way.
Yeah.
Also, we are the only religion in recorded history to include humor in our written doctrine. No other fucking religion got humor. It is not in the written doctrine anywhere. They all take each other so fucking seriously, and my God's going to kill you if you do this, or, we don't celebrate gods. We celebrate you.
Yeah.
We celebrate the love you have in your heart. Gods are a fantasy, and that's fine. If you've got that fantasy, live with it, but don't burden me with your crap. I can't say that. That's too incorrect. Sometimes words will come out of my mouth that are completely incorrect.
But that's
And I'm smart enough to catch them in old age.
we like the bad words. We like the uncensored raw nature of it.
Yeah, well.
You taught me something very early about love. I grew up in a house where before my dad had health problems, he had said, I love you 3 times to me in my lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. Now he says it all the time because he's scared and he's on his way out. So he says it all the time. Every time we talk, I love you. Every single time. But you taught me good 10, 15 years ago, tell the ones you love that you love them. And I tell this man over here every time we talk, tell him I love him. Tell this person here, tell him I love him. Tell my partners every time I talk to him, tell him I love him. Until I was about late 20s, early 30s when I met you, and you taught me that. I didn't think it was okay, and I just wanted to thank you for teaching me that it is okay.
It's infectious. It's infectious, and I'm having so much fun with the new guys at my gas station. Okay,
I love you.
I've got some guys who I think they're Sikhs. I don't know. And I walk in and say, hi, I love you. I want my cigar. I want this. I want that, whatever it is, And the first time I did it, they were like,
what does
and
that
now
mean?
they're just smiling when I walk in and say it, and they're nodding their heads. Yeah. So I figure, they usually crack quicker than this, but I think we'll start getting I love yous back within the next 3 or 4 weeks if we work at it hard. But they're all smiling when we walk in now because they know we're the regular. I'll go in there in my robe, That's hi, I'm in my robe.
Give me my.
I got a
give me
pair
my
of
fake-
shoes on,
give me
and
my
I just
fake
want to
ID.
get my gallon of milk. I'm out of here.
Love you.
Yeah, love you, buddy.
So, guys, real quick, Susan chimed in. Susan Morris. She said, "Bill, thank you for all you do for folks in need. Your work is really beautiful."
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
I love you, sweetie.
And Travis Nathaniel chimed in. He said, "The Church of the Subgenius." So is that right?
Is that Guinness? It looks like Guinness.
So
Genius has an eye on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Guinness
humor
has
in
humor
it.
in the
Yes, but
document.
it's not an actual religion. We are an actual federally recognized 501c3 religion.
Susan said
Oh, yeah.
something again.
you might want to think about connecting with Love in Action, a local nonprofit providing housing and social services to people experiencing homelessness. They operate currently with 100% donated monies and are open to anyone, no matter circumstances or reasons for
Good.
homelessness.
Well, there's
Okay,
good
Such
now-
a big
too.
need in our
See,
community.
this is where TAG comes in, because TAG heads up all our homeless outreach stuff because he has far more knowledge of it than I do.
Mhm.
I learned in old age that you don't know everything. And the people who do know it, you sort of guide them over there.
Mhm.
So that's why I say join Hearts in Hand Homeless Outreach page, Homeless Outreach Group page on Facebook, because that's who we partner with. That's the people we work with all the time. And TAG might even already know these people.
Mhm.
I don't know everybody in that industry. My industry background is rock and roll, tattoo, and cannabis. So that,
Oh, yeah.
if it's one of those three things, he'll come over to me and go,
Hell yeah.
That's why we love each other. We help each other.
So
Hi, Gina. I love you too.
I
Hi, Mandy.
I'm still not
Love
over
you.
the fact there's like the actual plant. The only time I've ever seen a plant when somebody I knew was their little baby. Little
Are
baby.
you talking about the plastic
Little-
one he had?
Oh, I thought that was real.
No.
Uh,
it's plastic as shit.
Oh,
Let me
no
see
shit.
this, Bill. Yeah, let me see it.
This is
This is what he went to the state house with. He couldn't go with a real plant. He just walked to the state house with it. Yeah.
it is a.
It does look.
It was symbolism.
They're sold.
Symbolism.
They were sold online for drug classes,
Yeah.
and I said, "Well, I'm class, and I do drugs," so I bought it. And it's upset so many people so many times that I find it is one of my favorite items to hang out with.
Hell yeah. It's neat. It looks real from where I'm sitting.
Yeah,
it was
well,
plastic. I heard it ruffle.
it-
And I saw him on TV with it. He had it on.
Why
Yeah,
didn't
it's-
Yeah.
It hasn't grown in the 10 years I've known it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess depending on what
If
you
you-
eat, it could grow a little bit.
Did you know, like, you could actually buy like marijuana, but it has like the actual like stuff that fucks you up in it taken out? You can buy seeds and grow it, but
All seeds are legal.
oh, okay,
All seeds are legal because all seeds contain less than 0.03 THC.
Yeah.
There is
I didn't know
Legal
that.
value.
20,
So you
2018 Farm Bill. All seeds are legal.
huh?
Wow. If you
That's
like
dope.
seeds, I know a lot of collectors.
Yeah,
you
but they
know?
do make like fake marijuana that you can grow.
Oh,
And
they-
why would you do that though?
They have
Well,
Like, what
no,
if somebody
no, wait a
thinks it's like real?
What's your
Before they were able to test cannabis, okay, we were buying bricks of pressed shit. We had no idea what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now,
Seeds,
weed-
stems. I remember those.
Weed
days.
was weed. You break it out, you smoke it. Some of it was straight CBG. Some of it was THCA, but we didn't know it back then.
Yeah.
Some of it had a lot of CBD and no THC. That's
Yeah.
probably what we grew here. The only actual strain from Indiana that made any notoriety is bubblegum.
Hmm.
And that was made in the late 80s, and it was smuggled over to Cannabis in Amsterdam, CIA, in 1992. And in 1993, it became the Cannabis Award winner in Amsterdam and made the mark. But that strain came from southern Indiana. I got
Oh, yeah.
videotape of
That's
it.
dope. So like now we're at this point where like they could like chemically alter like THC to where you could buy it in Indiana.
You could buy it at a gas station. What
Yeah.
is this stuff you could buy at a gas station? It's
Yeah.
flour.
No,
It's-
like
Well, now wait a minute.
you could buy
You-
shrooms too legally from
Yeah.
a head shop, from a gas station. It's crazy.
but
Because
The flowers are called biomass,
Hmm.
and you can have it for tea purposes or cooking purposes.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to smoke it because technically smoking it is illegal.
What
But
if I
they're
told
selling
you,
it
Bill?
in every single gas
What if I
station.
told you I ate 5 Delta 9 gummies before I got here?
Good man.
Perfectly legal.
I've
Which I like very
never
rarely
done
do.
I've never done the synthetics. No, I can't.
Well,
I
they're
can't.
not truly synthetics. These are extractions from the plant, where they're saying, "Oh, well, that
I don't
plant
like it.
smells really
I don't
good.
like
Let's
it.
spray it on
It
all the other
feels-
plants too, so it smells as
It
good."
feels like tomfoolery. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I won't touch it. I won't.
It's
won't-
glorious.
No. No.
Look,
I won't. Can't. Won't do it.
I don't know. I
we used
enjoy
to
it
have hash.
personally.
Now they're all there is hash. Now they're all there is concentrates. Hash has more character and flavor, especially if it comes from the Middle East. The character and flavor is grossly lacking in wax, but it's a little more powerful than so we can, sort of look by it. The people who take the 6 gallons of terpenes and put it on 1 gram of wax need to be bitch slapped. Okay. I don't want to smoke terpenes. Okay. I want to smoke the actual product.
That's
Yeah.
another thing.
Like dabs and shit.
Terpenes. Yeah, I can't
Like
do it.
now they're
Can't
putting
my
like
lungs.
how do you place
they're
it
putting
in the-
filters on
It's
joints.
too much.
Like what's
Like,
happening?
too much
dab
for
bar,
me
so they've got-
and my-
We have a dab bar. Did you guys know that we have a dab bar in
It's-
Indianapolis?
What's
Over
it?
in Broad
Oh, a
Ripple?
dab.
No, no,
Legal
no.
wax.
I don't know why
No,
I thought
it's
you
at
said
the,
dab bar.
Yeah, illegal
Indianapolis Industrial Complex.
Indianapolis Industrial.
wax. Over there on Mass Ave.
They have a
Yes.
yellow sign everywhere.
Yes.
So over there by like Mimi Blue Me Ball and stuff.
Yeah, Mako Dab Bar, hence the name, has a dab bar.
So I can't do it.
And they
I can't.
have
Like,
30 or 40 different kinds of wax. And they got one of these little puffer things that will, hold the smoke for you. And then you just hit it and it's all cooled off and nice. Absolutely a delightful place to stop before or after dinner and a date.
Yeah.
It's just like going off and have a couple drinks in a bar. Well, go visit the dab
But
bar.
you have to
and
buy their
get
dabs.
your appetite up a little bit more.
You have to buy their dabs. It's not like it's a BYOB.
I-
Yeah, it's
You
not
can't bring
well.
your
They've
own,
got such a
like-
great selection. There's no reason you'd want to bring your own.
Okay. But I just-
I will go in there and tap out after about 20, 30 minutes. Because there's too much to taste.
Yeah.
I got to go outside and get some cigar.
How old are you now?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
1953, if I'm not mistaken.
55. Don't
55.
fucking bury me before I have to
Alright.
go.
So what's the math on that? I'm sorry.
What's the math on that?
55.
67.
So 45 plus 23.
67.
67.
67. I'll be 68 this fall.
You've done so many glorious things, my man.
Hell yeah.
Like I always love spending time with you because I know I'm gonna hear 3-4 stories that I've never heard before. And you've lived a magnificent life.
One of my favorite stories that you don't know.
That I don't know. All right, let's
Yeah, I
go.
know you don't know. We are all huge assholes in our life. Okay. And I recall one of the bigger asshole moves in my life. And JJ Pearson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love JJ. JJ and I were roommates. We've lived together.
He's cool, dude.
I want you to notice a cut on JJ's chin.
All right.
Okay. Now we're going to tell the story of that cut.
Let's go.
The three of us were leaving the Alley Cat at sunrise. Okay.
Every great story starts.
And
with
that's
sunrise at the Alley
That's a
Cat.
bar that closes at 1 p.m. now. Is that correct?
1
Yeah.
1 a.m.
Yeah. I am me and the other guy are on the right-hand side of the street, And JJ was still very younger and bouncier. He was bouncier. He was
Well,
very
he was-
bouncy. And he ran across the street and he was filled with energy. And he started pole vaulting the parking meters. We had parking meters back then. And we're looking at him as he's going down the street, and all the parking meters are in a row, except one that was replaced because somebody knocked it down, and it was another 3 inches up. Now we're going, JJ, watch out, you're going to hurt yourself. Yeah. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And, if you are pole vaulting meters, I don't know if this shows.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going like this.
Yeah.
That 3-inch meter taller caught him, locked his hands into his pants, and he teetered forward,
Nice. Facing concrete.
and he stopped his body weight on his chin.
I'm looking for the scar. Next time I see you, JJ. I'm
Okay.
bringing this up.
So here we have a blood fest. Now we're laughing in tears because we're
Back in the
still
day.
drunk from the night before.
Mhm.
And we take him home. I lived around the corner. And we put a rag on it or something. And he goes, "What do I do? What do I do?" Now, my biggest asshole moment. I look him square in the eye. And I say, "You should do like the Pilgrims used to do when they had this issue. And you should put some salt on it." And we got some iodine salt. And he put it in his hand. And we're watching him. And we're dying. And we're not saying a word. We are ready to explode to see if he really does it. And he just goes, whack.
Oh my
Now.
goodness.
3, 2, 1. The blood is circulated.
Right.
His eyes lit up bigger than Kermit's. They were huge eyes, some of the biggest eyes I've ever seen. And he goes, "Oh my God, that hurts." And he pulls his hand away. And the asshole says, "Put it up there. It means it's killing the infection." JJ, I'm sorry. Here's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, and I love you.
That's a great story. Next time I see JJ, I'm gonna look at this chin and be like, I know where that came from.
Yeah, I love JJ more than anything, but every time I see him, it's like, oh God, Bill, you're such a fucking asshole. But yeah, that was to my knowledge, that was my biggest asshole move. But
The iodine, JJ.
well, no, just the salt in the open wound,
The
and no,
salt.
put it back. It's not going to anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you remember the stupid things you do in life, and that was one of them.
That's a great story.
Hell yeah. So this is, guys, this is our 5th Mixed Nuts
Fifth mix.
podcast.
Yeah.
And the second one was JJ.
JJ was the second one. That's
Yeah.
great.
Good.
He came over and we shot the shit, and we got to hear all the
Um,
toxic reason stories.
I'm messaging him as soon as I leave here. Be like, you should go back and watch the mixed nuts that was just on. There was a story about you and your kid.
JJ and I had a lot of fun together.
Hell yeah.
We played
You hung
bookend.
out with those dudes, right? Toxic reason guys, and it was,
We all knew each other.
right.
Yeah. I mean, JJ and I played bookends together. Yeah, we're smart people. We know how to read.
So have you ever, I can't imagine you have, I'm sure it's going to go right to Pixie, but
Not about everything.
and if you're not comfortable answering this, don't. This goes for all of us, but everybody gets to answer, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever done on LSD? Like the craziest story, man.
All right, that's easy.
Awesome.
That failed first.
When I was 14 or 15, I was 15.
Might be a brief.
I took liquid LSD and I dropped it in the coffee pot at a campus-wide party at a boarding school I went to. And I got a good majority of my campus tripping balls.
Hell yeah.
Walk around and say, "Hey, buddy, want to hit acid? Yeah, what's it cost? Give me 3 joints. Give me 5 joints." So we had a coffee can filled with joints. And everybody was tripping balls. And then the staff started drinking the coffee, and then the whole thing went to hell. But it was an amusing time.
Hell yeah.
See, now this directly reflects back to our culture, because the book at that time was Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. So everybody's wondering, how would this work? Would this work with us? When you're a kid, you don't know better, and you try stupid things.
Mm.
Now, I got in trouble, obviously, and the school punished me and all this horse shit. And a year later, I ran for campus council president
Hell yeah.
with my girlfriend at the time, and we won.
There you go.
Which school was this?
Boarding school in Cleveland.
Hell yeah. That's cool.
And then about 7 months later, I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. They strongly urged me to take my life and move on to another location because I got her pregnant. And the president of the campus council cannot get the vice president of the campus council president and be in the school at the same time. They just didn't like that.
Wow.
So I left that establishment with a smile on my face and a skip in my step, and went on for life's great adventure, which was working with plants. I always loved plants.
Hell yeah.
The greenhouse,
I like growing plants too.
pots and plants.
Could
Good
never
trees.
tell.
I took horticulture for 2 years.
Cool, man.
But you did Pixie LSD stuff?
I mean, honestly, like, depends on which way. Like, crazy wise, all I can think of be like orgies and stuff like that. Like, big ass orgies.
I could never do sex.
Tripping
I had a year
balls.
where
Fucking.
I bought 2 hits, and it was supposed to be 2 hits. It's what I paid for, and then later on, it was informed, "Happy birthday!" It was 6.
Whoa.
And was not prepared for that. But it was a
Whoa.
good time.
That is a lot of LSD, y'all. You better be like, don't do 6 hits your first time if you ever do it.
So
It wasn't my first time, but I still was
Well,
not
then,
ready
yeah.
to do 6 hits. I
That's-
was like,
that's
this was a
intense.
fantastic fucking night.
That
It was
is
a birthday
intense.
orgy. It was
I,
a good time.
I actually have not done LSD since my crazy LSD story. I was this incorporates a lot actually.
Oh, let's go full screen. I'm sorry, I forgot to change the camera.
I haven't
My bad.
I haven't
Damn,
done LSD since I was 19 years old, and it's a weird coincidence. I mind you that, but I was hanging out with a friend of mine named Daphne, and she somehow got me into a punk rock night, and I was on LSD, and that was a little bit overwhelming because I was 19 years old and in a bar.
Oh, wow.
This was the first time I met Greg Brenner, was on LSD.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were there maybe 45 minutes, watched a little bit of the bands. It was a little overwhelming. Left there, went to the Slippery Noodle. I'm 19 on LSD. I've never been in a bar before.
Holy
And
shit.
I'm going around the city with my friend Daphne. I don't know. Do you remember Daphne? It was a very weird night.
Wait, hold on, Will. Are you old enough to where you could get into a bar at 18, or was it 21?
No, it's 21.
It was 21.
It was
You know
20.
what?
You a crazy motherfucker.
It was
I'd never went into a bar.
I didn't do anything.
before I was 21.
I didn't do anything.
Swear to
I was a
God.
mute on LSD. She just she took me into these places.
But to
I
do it
didn't-
on LSD is like the super ultra.
I
like,
was 19. I was 19. I didn't know what I was doing. Daphne had control of the entire situation. She was on LSD, but she was fine. But so the crazy part of this was that the crazy part of the story is how I took the LSD. I got dared into taking it straight out of the sweet breath vial into my
Oh, eyeball.
and so I took 3 drops of acid into my eyeball, straight into my eyeball. It was in a sweet breath vial.
Jesus.
Go bigger, go
How
home.
have I never heard this story?
It was the last time I did acid, and why I don't do acid anymore. This is why I don't do
You're
acid.
supposed to put it on your tongue.
I understand, but I got dared. They were like, "You should do it in your eye," and I was 19, very stupid, and said, "Okay, let's do it." I was literally tripping within 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
15 minutes. I was tripping, and just Daphne led me around all night. It was the first night I met Greg Brenner. First time I went to punk rock night. There was no real like smokers card. We got in the back door somehow. And she came in. I don't even know if I drank alcohol. It ended even weirder with one of the first experiences I've had in my life in a threesome. So
Yeah.
and that's also why I will also not have sex while I am on hallucinogenic drugs anymore. Just can't do it.
It is a thing, you know.
I can't.
Sure, everybody's heard of like fucking ecstasy and Molly.
Oh man, I've only done ecstasy. I only did ecstasy twice in my life.
I'm afraid to do ecstasy.
I haven't
I
done
don't
ecstasy
trust
since
anybody
I was in my 20s.
Hey, I look at all forms of drugs like as something that should be treated with responsibility. Whenever I've done any form of
Williams,
hallucinogenics,
Doubtful,
anything like that, it's been planned, like planned on it. But that shit's fucking awesome.
So what's your weirdest LSD story? We gave you ours.
Yeah. I was just saying, but dude, like it's super addictive. So if you have addictive issues, I would not suggest it.
What LSD?
No,
Oh.
fucking
MDA.
MDA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ecstasy. Gotcha.
I've only done it
Real
a couple
MDA
times,
is.
but LSD, like I've never had anything crazy happen because, like, I don't know, it comes in waves. So as long as you like brace yourself for that wave, fucking enjoy it, and then when it stops, then you just like go about business. But I played a house show on LSD.
I bet that was a good show.
It's like one of my favorite shows I've ever played.
Which
dude.
one was it?
You took video.
I did. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly where it was then. Oh, okay.
Thing is, I didn't really tell a bunch of people
No, you
that I was
didn't.
on
But
it.
there were 3 of you.
You wouldn't
that
know the
night. There were
difference.
3 of you that night too, though.
Oh, that's right.
His band. So this night. So I remember this night. I was, just hanging out.
About that.
Filming the bands, kind of doing the thing I was doing, but it wasn't a punk rock band. It was a house show out in Newcastle, and it was Halloween. You were on LSD, and there were 3 of you in the room. Is that what you're telling me? So his
These are
band,
facts.
his
These are
bands,
facts.
his bandmates, his guitar player and his drummer dressed up as him for Halloween. So there were 3 shipwrecks at the show.
Respect.
Hell yeah.
And you were on LSD.
They're my best friends, man. They
Yes.
fucking love me. And I love them.
So that night was pretty wild then. Did you ever look at them and be like, "This is weird"?
Nah. I mean, dude, like to be quite honest with you, that is one of the very rare occasions that I did LSD and was like, I've always done it for the experience, right? So this experience was being a musician and playing my guitar on it.
Yeah.
In a way, like when I was a kid, like I kind of always wanted to do it, in my head, because fuck, everybody knows about Jimi Hendrix's story, you know what I'm saying?
Or
So,
the Santana story. with the
but
guitar neck.
I believe every year, or eventually they'll get to a point where microdosing will be a real thing, not just like some people do it. It'll be like part of our medical field, you know.
I have a friend who
Uh,
lives in Chicago who
and-
microdoses mushrooms every single day.
To people that are responsible adults, like once a year. I mean, shrooms is whatever. Like, it's cool, but to me, like LSD is like a you're fucking scrubbing that brain down, cleaning it up.
Oh,
you
DMT
know?
if you want to scrub.
Shit, that stuff, man.
Okay, so I got a question about DMT. I've never done DMT, but I've heard these videos and I've heard these stories about DMT. Are there these entities that sometimes show up to these people that are like universally seen by people that have done DMT, and they're like
we're talking about the
little
real
elf-
deal, like
the
you
little
literally
elf,
like
like
travel
the
across
energy
the
elves or
universe
whatever?
type shit. For
It's a fractal thing.
Okay. But it's similar stories between people that have no idea or know each other, like they've seen
Well,
these
it's a
beings. on-
it will allow you to see other dimensions.
Okay.
If you want to take a fantasy spin on an opinion, it allows you to see other dimensions.
Okay.
It allows you to see light waves that you can't see with your regular eyes. There are some animals, on this planet that have far better eyesight than we do.
Right.
They have far better smell. They can see some of this.
That we can't.
We can't. This opens up our synapses so we can actually see it. It's there all the time.
Using parts of our brain that we don't normally use.
Because we only see like small
But I've
fraction
seen
of
this.
wavelengths
I've seen
of
those
light.
studies of people years apart that have no idea of knowing each other, and they tell their experiences of trying DMT, and like there's these entities or beings that they've communicated with, and it's a similar story to somebody 15 years ago that they did this study with, and it's like on another, like you were talking different dimensions and seeing things.
I mean, LSD comes on, and you do a slow pitch up to the peak. DMT shoots you straight out of the cannon at the peak.
I
Never
would
done it.
compare it to
I've never
peaking
done
off
DMT.
10 hits of acid and then 15 minutes later being fine.
Yeah, so it's a very short period of time too.
It doesn't last very long.
It's
You ever done
at
DMT?
max 45 minutes, depending on how much you smoke.
So, like right now, if you want to have a DMT experience, get your fucking passport. There are places down in Mexico
Oh, yeah.
where it's like some of them are like $15,000 per person, but they go you go down there for like 5 days, and you fucking do like
I've eaten.
Fuck those greedy assholes.
I've eaten.
I'm
I've eaten
saying,
peyote.
like-
I've eaten peyote on an Indian reservation.
it's to my understanding that you lose time, but
Well,
you're
you're
not losing time, you're
20.
gaining time because the experience seems longer than the period of time that you're actually like experiencing it.
Right.
To my understanding, it's like you're traveling across the universe. Like, it's like insane. Like to me, like the way that DMT is that I've heard people testimony of their experiences or whatever is it's like there's no such thing as doing it and then walking away the same person.
Oh no!
And-
It's meant to make you healthy.
Why can't I do it? I want to do it.
No, it if something's broken, it fixes.
How long until this is? These are. I guess America will always find a way to make money off of it. But how long until it's
They're
all
putting-
therapeutic? Like these other-
Psychedelics are very therapeutic.
Exactly.
But the fact that they want to get $15,000 for a trip is absolutely insane.
Wow.
It's like a camping experience, so like, and there's
I'm
like
sorry,
doctors
it's a
and shit like
$5
that.
fucking trip.
Yeah. Well, I was just throwing it out there. Like I've heard some cool stuff about that, but like we are like right now there are plenty of colleges that are studying like DMT
Yeah.
and,
Thank
and
God.
to treat.
They opened up the doors for that a few years ago.
What is
Might
it?
even been the Farm Bill.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Right now they're testing it on
They're testing ketamine for Christ's
police
sake.
officers, military, but it's all like very supervised.
Have you seen the military test on LSD? Do you know the history of LSD?
Yes, but I don't know if I've watched a film on it.
The
If I'm not mistaken,
when it
it's-
came
it's
around,
the opening of what's that movie called? Oh, there's a movie It was pot though. Never mind.
Yeah,
You're saying.
The U.S. government got 60,000 hits,
Pineapple
20
Trace.
Army, 20 Navy, and 20 to the CIA. And then they went to go reorder. And I think rumor has it that George Bush Sr. was the head of the Dirty Tricks Department at the time. And they called up Sandoz Laboratories and they said, okay, we want to reorder. We've had some good experiences with this. And they go, okay, what would you like? And they go, 3 tons. And they say, excuse me, what? We want 3 metric tons. This is a microgram product. What do you want 3 metric tons for? And they said, oh, we want to spray it on the Viet Cong. And the Sandoz company said, go fuck yourself. Hung up the phone, said, we're not going to take your order. Now, if you go look in a PDR in 1955, you will see that a locally owned company came to the government's rescue because they put a patent on LSD.
Yeah.
Eli Lilly has a patent on LSD since 1955.
Well, let's go. Like, come on.
Yeah. So
Shit.
the rumor has it that they filled the order. And in the late 50s and early 60s, it was passed around the agency, bottles made it out here, bottles made it out there. One guy went out to the Haight-Ashbury area with a few liters and started turning people on in 1966, 67. So the big wave started there, and it all came out of the agency. Then people found the mathematical formula for how to make the shit, and then it got real.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think it is something in the future that we really need to change and not make a lot of these drugs. I don't know about LSD per se, but a lot of these drugs out there that are natural or not are very helpful to people's mental state. And I believe in it, and that's why a lot of Americans do.
Yeah.
So they're doing studies. They're trying to get there. They're saying 30 years. Well, that's because we're big drugs, big RX.
Well, no. It's politicians. The Republican Party is owned lock, stock, and barrel by the same man who owns Citizens United.
Yeah.
He owns both companies.
I would just think like Roche and Eli Lilly and all these other major drug people, would give a senator a large sum of money to keep that vote the way that they want it. And that's the way politics work. And I truly believe that is part of the issue. Also, big coal. There's a big issue in Indiana with coal. It's far, far away from where we're at, but down in Evansville,
Yep.
It's serious life-threatening issues for some of these towns. We are like the #1 state in coal mining, period. A lot of people don't know that.
And we got the worst pollution up in Chicago area. That Gary issue. Can't even put grass in. Grass will die. It's so poisonous on the ground.
They're all bought and sold. The puppet on the left says this. The puppet on the right says that, says Bill Hicks.
It's all about greed.
Yeah. There are some people out there that aren't taking huge sums of fucking money, to be pieces of shit. It's like, you have to vote, but at some point, when are we going to take money out of fucking politics?
Can't. That's what politics is.
No, it wasn't
People
like
run
that
for
until
office
77.
to get closer to Washington because Washington is the controlling factor in all cash.
Yeah. I
The closer
think that,
you are to the bank, the easier it is to get a loan.
I think that it should be illegal for a person to donate money to a political camp or political group and it not be known publicly. That's bullshit.
But you see, the guy who figured that out was Mayor Stephen Goldsmith. He was also prosecutor. He's also a punk.
He's from California.
No, here in town. He was our mayor in Indianapolis. He was a prosecutor here. He is the one who figured out how to make not-for-profit companies, PACs, political action committees.
Uh-huh.
He had people from all over the world come hang out with him to learn the secret, and then Washington learned the secret, and everybody learned the secret. But the man who originated it was our old mayor. How to make money off of money. This way you can give me money and we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
way more donating being done.
I just know that
Uh-huh.
in like the late 60s or early 70s, at some point, there was a bill passed that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and it basically made it to where the entire country, if you donate money, a large sum of money, no longer do you have to, it doesn't have to be public information.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. There's always going to be money, but I want to know. I want to know who's doing it. Some companies are just straight out like, we donate money to this, the Democratic Party or the Republican
Do
Party.
you
But-
know why weed's not legal in Indiana?
There's tons of reasons.
No, there's one reason. It's called Eli Lilly. There's one reason. It's called Eli Lilly.
Well, see, yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at. You just walked in. I was talking about them and Roche and, all these RX companies. But
James Bopp is the reason. Not Eli Lilly.
Not Eli.
Eli Lilly doesn't give a shit, doesn't want to play in politics. James Bopp owns Citizens United and the Republican Party of Indiana. He's the boss. He walks into that state house. All the Republicans' assholes, you could hear him slam shut. He's the most powerful man in the state that nobody knows. He controls the Republican Party. He tells them no against cannabis because he doesn't like cannabis.
Even though they're surrounded. The states are surrounded by states that are.
Right. And we
Going
don't
in the
ever
right
bring up,
direction.
look how much money cannabis would bring in, because our state has billions already in its nest egg. We're one of the richest states out there. We don't need the cannabis money. And if they say, oh, get the cannabis money and put it toward the schools, that's a bullshit play, because all money that goes into the general fund. There is no earmarking for schools, garbage, homeless, or anything.
hey, I know. I went to Warren Central.
There's no money.
Like literally like a 0.4 star out of 5-star high school. Like,
That's where my kids go to school.
man,
Warren.
Just
Our
depends
school
on
systems
where
are-
you're at, because I went to Costa Rica Middle School, which was one of the top most wealthy, like paid for middle schools. I was they
Yeah.
had top everything. I went from band to playing at like a sophomore level and moved to IPS from Franklin,
yeah.
and it was just like a complete whoop. Like I came in and everybody in band was like learning how to play their instrument halfway through 8th grade, and I'm like playing at a high school level, and I'm like, wait, what? And
What's going on?
hold on, I don't understand.
This guy is in the background putting the pamphlets
Prancing
out.
around, adding our pamphlets to all the pews.
Yeah.
And stapling.
Doing a wonderful job.
Getting things ready for the punk rock market.
Hell yeah.
Our event.
Oh, yes. So, again, this Friday,
Mhm.
Church of Cannabis, Punk Rock Night,
Mhm.
and Retrograde Apparel are putting their all-age show on
Nice
and
one.
Fountain Square.
Thanks.
Where is that in Fountain
Long
Square?
shot.
What is
Oh, I
that?
don't know.
Where?
Never. It's in Fountain
I
Square.
got you.
Don't know what Long Shot is. I know that
It's
they've
just
been
like-
doing the first Friday at Imbibe for a while.
Mhm.
But now I know this is a new location, but I just don't know where this location is.
Is it on Shelby Street?
I'm gonna say show. We'll go with that.
I'm using my phone to do the show, so I can't.
Is Long
I'm
Shots
okay,
right
serious.
across from the Duck Pin Bowling?
There's two. Yeah, it looks like that's probably the one, the Long Shot Theater over on Sanders Street.
I don't know. I'm
Cool.
gonna look up the punk. I'm gonna
I've
look
never
up the
been there,
Punk Rock
so,
Night, location. I've never been there either. That's what we're trying to. I know it's in Fountain
Ye-
Square.
To kind of digress back to the school thing, like I kind of throw
I'll
this,
be back.
yeah,
1336 Shelby Street.
I kind of throw this out there because we literally, my graduating class, best way to put it, Warren Central has like top 5 every year at least back when I was there, students that would just not graduate. They would start, but they just would not graduate.
Did you say 5?
What?
5? You only had 5 that would start and not graduate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like top 5
Yeah.
highest, like
To not graduate.
Most
yeah,
likely to not graduate.
yeah, like really bad. The only one that I know that's worse actually is Shelbyville. So, but
Manual had a really like my graduating class was hundreds of people, and it was like less than 100 really graduating class.
I'm not,
I did 3 different high schools in 3 years and graduated early, just to get it done.
dude. I went to school in Ohio and I moved here, and I went from like a C- student to an A student. And the ISEB is the most ridiculous test I've ever taken in my entire
ISEB?
life. Yes.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I
fucking
step.
hate
The
ISEB.
bubbles. The bubbles.
I was like in the top percent in fucking grade because it's literally so fucking basic. I think like the only thing I fucked up was the essay because I wrote it about Jimi Hendrix.
Rich said that long shots next to the Goodwill in front of Fountain Square.
Yeah. 1336
Okay.
Shelby.
36 Shelby
I know where that's at.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate you.
Hell yeah. Nice. Oh, look at that. We got,
Yep, there was an event post from Jeanette Carey too.
but yeah, our,
Event post.
it is kind of wild, like where our taxes actually go.
Yeah.
And if you really look at it, you know,
I am proud. I'm proud my tax dollars wrangled his goats once. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with the wrangling of the goats. I'm good.
hmm,
But outside of things like that, I feel you. Like all that tax money could be going to better places.
sure would be nice to live in Michigan, Illinois, or any like all these states around us got legalized weed, but we don't.
Here's the thing that my
Yeah.
buddy tells me
It's
about
fine.
Chicago. It's legal,
Yeah.
recreationalized in Chicago.
Yeah.
He has lived there all his life. He still buys weed off his dude, like because it costs $60 an eighth or whatever, and because of the high tax
Yeah,
rate, it's,
Chicago,
so
Illinois has
real.
the highest taxation of any, 100%, I think.
but he
tax.
lives there and he still goes to his regular guy.
Everybody will always use the black market until cannabis falls down to the price of $50 an ounce.
It's already down to $50.
It's down to $50 an ounce, yes, but by the time you let it go at the dispensary, it's 75.
No, the dispensaries in Michigan right now, you got menus where it's good shit.
All out, pounds should be 500 to 600, 300 to 500, and ounces should be $50. You know, everything else is just gross inflation of a fucking plant
It
we could
is.
all grow at home
Yeah.
next to our tomato plants and our corn. If you're a Hoosier, you're growing both of those.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, my corn's not coming up this year. I'm sort of pissed.
Wait, how many animals do you have at your house?
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Straight off the top of your
Let's
head,
do
don't
this.
have
This
it
is
there.
fun. This is fun. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love.
Run
it down.
15 chickens because we just had 6 babies. No, 12 chickens. 4 peacocks, 3 or 4 cats, depending on what day of the week and if Fred comes home or not. 4 dogs, 2 lovebirds. Oh, and Ginger, the house chicken.
That's awesome.
It,
Just kinda hangs out.
and he lives around
State Fair.
State Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
I love this man.
Yeah.
All the front is all gardens.
Man, I'll never forget that day I got on Facebook and you made this post about this pizza place off of 38th and College.
Howie's hungry. Howie's.
Nah.
Yeah, wasn't it the
It
yellow
was
one?
Happy Pizza from
Happy
Chicago. And they
Happy
totally fucked you over.
Oh, the people
Happy
who put a
pizza.
gallon of sauce on, so if you move the pizza, everything shifted.
So, you know how you said you used to shut down bars?
Yeah.
I used to shut down pizza stores.
Well, that,
And I shut that bitch down. It did not last. I shut her down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is no longer there. And if you had anything to do with helping, I love you.
Hell yeah.
That was some
Hired
of
the
the
right
worst
people,
pie.
trained them,
He was like
built a really good team.
He was the
the-
Domino's
That
ninja.
that store right there, that record REIT, that store
He's
will
a-
never be fucking broke.
for years. Domino's.
I will always own that. And if you work at 38th Central, like bet $50 you can't beat it. I'll fucking if you beat it, I got you $50.
For years, Domino's abused this man's energy, time. And
They're known for that.
So what they would do? No, hear me out. No, hear me out. See what they would do
Well,
is
it's a thing.
what they would do.
Fuck that pizza place.
Okay, what they would do is they would have these stores that were like crumbling and like not great and not doing well, and they would shift him around the city, and he would go in and he'd have to fix these fucking stores. He'd get them.
By the way,
top number.
nobody did that to me. That was a personal fucking choice.
But they would move him.
It was. I didn't have to work there.
once
I
the-
chose to do these things.
Once the store was fixed, they would move him on to the next one.
Hell
the
yeah.
next one, and the next one because he was the fixer. But they
I
didn't
was
pay-
the
they didn't-
builder
they didn't pay him
too,
right.
not just the fixer.
The stuff he was doing, they didn't pay him right. They didn't compensate him all right. Sometimes they would, but not all the
I
time.
don't know, man. I made pretty good money.
I-
There wasn't a single year that I worked for like
You
one
were boss.
franchise. I made 10,000, at least 10,000 first month every January.
You were wrong.
Big money.
Do you want to go back to pizza?
Fuck that. Bruh, if I worked
Jesus,
pizza,
man.
there would not be podcasts, dude.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
hell no.
When you get in the
Your
restaurant
energy is
business, you are
fried.
married to the restaurant.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like when people look at them, like look within and realize like whatever it is that you do, whether it's work or not, like you're investing in yourself, you know? And it doesn't matter where you work, it doesn't matter what you do. If you invest in yourself, you will be successful, you know? And that's with good practice and discipline or whatever, you know? Yeah, just believe in yourself. And like you are definitely a person that tons of people, you know, probably I would say be fair, like across the country,
Yep.
you know, that know who the fuck you are and what you're doing for a movement. And that movement, you know, is these marijuana laws are bullshit. So
It's a plant. Like he says, it's a plant.
Any law that was created on racist prejudice and our Supreme Court still allows it to stand because of racist testimony, the whole machine is broken.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
We are no longer racist in this country, and those who are pretty much canceled in our life.
Mhm.
You know, I know a person who's bitching about the Biden administration making him go broke. He also flies Trump info every single day, and good people won't buy from a Trumper, and he doesn't understand that. So it's not Biden's fault. It's we don't do business with people who support fucking criminals, especially terrorists who want to sell our nation out for personal profit. Fuck that shit. You know, we're going to take them all down. They all will go. The
I
world
think,
is getting sick of assholes.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of a recession, and the amount of tax on our fucking import alone is so low, it's ridiculous. And I honestly, like, I get it. I think we should be paying $50 an ounce for legal marijuana, but
I think we should all
if they-
vote in
if
our
the federal
front yard
government-
like everybody else. Hell,
if
in
the
Maine, you
federal
could have
government-
9 pounds
let's
personal.
get out of this fucking hole that we're fucking in. These trillions of dollars we just
Everybody would
blew
have a new problem.
on a fucking flu virus that was lethal to people that are typically, you know, obese or fucking older in age.
As long as you
But
have it.
we're kind of fucked. We're kind of fucked right now. I think the federal government needs to make it legal now and tax it and
But the
get
state-
out
they'll still
of
leave it
this
to the
shithole.
states, and they'll
Look at
still be
Colorado.
states that-
Like they're like, aren't they paying people like money on their taxes because they don't know what to do with all the fucking money? Like, it's insane, and we haven't done it. Let's get out of this spot. The price of shit is just stupid, but I don't know. Not to get all serious, but it is like sitting in a room with you, man. This is kind of stuff I want to talk about because it's ridiculous. It's so fucking healthy,
It's the right man.
you know.
That's part of what
Like,
that's part of what
yeah.
we
Yeah.
are about with the church, like the 5 Pentacles of Cannabis. It being part of the, like, it's healthy, it's healing.
I
It's
tell you
love.
what, yeah.
It's a health supplement all the way around. If you get a burn or a cut, put cannabis oil on it, and it heals, like 5 times quicker than triple antibiotic lotion. I mean, it heals instantly.
Good
It
muscles.
heals instantly.
Scarring. And there are so many physical benefits, so many mental benefits. You can do anything with it. You can cook with it. You can build with it.
Here's a Danny Thompson asked Bill a question up there.
Oh man, there's so many questions.
Danny said, no,
Hold
right there,
on.
right there. Danny
Time.
said,
Love you, Bill. Remember that time I put my head through the wall at Muggins? That was fun.
I love you. Yes.
Danny Thompson.
Oh, Danny Thompson. I love Danny Thompson.
Hell yeah,
He said he
dude.
put his
Yeah,
head through a
because
so
I was
cool.
sitting there talking to
Nice guy.
a Black Flag guy, Henry, and you just came right down the stairs and put your head through the wall. And Henry looked at me, and I looked at him, and we both went over and grabbed you. I remember
Did
that.
he just nonchalantly reference Henry Rollins?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
all right.
Absolutely.
yeah.
That tends to happen a lot. It
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
also takes me
Henry.
a second to process when he's telling
Henry.
me stories, and I'm like,
I was like, wait a second, he just said Black Flag. Wait a second, he just said Henry.
Black Flag. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did
the
not-
Black Flag guy.
That guy. That
Okay.
guy. No big deal.
We had Stealing Volume on, and Ben Raw was telling me you put a show on like out in the middle of nowhere, and there's a bunch of bikers there, and the Slurs played, and then
Oh, the Hog Hollow.
yeah,
Yeah,
they told me about that crazy night.
that was some fun.
They told all of us really because it was on the
Was it
podcast.
80s? When was this?
No, this was in the 90s. For I think maybe one summer or 2 summers, I was lucky enough to put on shows out at a place called Hog Hollow, and it was straight up biker fest. And those are the best because there's really no rules. I learned what an oompa was.
Okay.
Oompa was one of the greatest spectacles I have ever seen. It is a Boone's Farm, has to be Boone's Farm, bottle filled with gasoline. And you loosely put the cap on, loosely. So there's still some wiggle. And then you go over to the bonfire and you put this bottle into the bonfire.
Yeah.
And everybody, and have it aiming away from everybody. And everybody starts going, oom-pa, oom-pa. And everybody starts chanting, oom-pa, oom-pa. And then finally, the gas boils, shoots the cap off, and it gets ignited by the fire. And it is a 30 to 40 foot long, 8 foot to 10 foot wide shot of flame. And it goes into the air and it goes, whoom! And then it goes, pa, because it sucked all the oxygen up for about a half a mile. You're all going,
You were charged as a terrorist nowadays.
oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Don't try this at home, kids.
Hog Hollow.
You should have started with that, Bill.
Yeah, well, it was a truly, you learn little amazing things in life, and I can never look at a Boone's Farm bottle now and not say, pour that shit out.
Yeah.
Give me a gallon of gas.
Boone's Farm.
Did you
Does everybody have a Boone's Farm story? Like,
nah.
everybody's gotten drunk on Boone's Farm
Yeah.
once
I
in
didn't
their
drink
life.
a
Once?
bit of Moon's Farm, but Mad Dog was more popular when I was
MD,
younger.
you mean the MD 2020 that was at the village pantries that could, easily get? Yeah, I got drunk stories about those. Did you ever drink
Yeah.
those?
I drank 151 in high school, and then
151,
after
geez.
that, I had to get a job and got
No.
my own, lived on my own. So
No
I started drinking
turkey and Coke.
$8 half gallons of fucking vodka, You know, whatever.
No way.
Yeah.
What was your drink,
Yeah.
drink before you stopped? What was your
Daily, it was Budweiser.
Budweiser,
Binges were gin, vodka, tequila, schnapps, Ruppelmans.
Ruppelmans?
Ruppelmans.
Oh, that sounds
Younger
good.
days, it was all the fruity, Boone's Farm crap.
I won't
Annie
drink-
Green Springs. Yeah, Boone's Farm apple. I seem to remember as giving you an incredible hangover. Yeah, 3 pounds of sugar, a cup of alcohol, and you're gonna feel like shit.
I stopped drinking anything that gives me hang. I won't drink tequila, won't drink vodka, I won't drink whiskey, and I won't drink bourbon. I'm a clear rum guy because there's very little hangover. I cannot. It's not bad.
I like whiskey.
I like
Turkey.
I like
This man like this.
Or tequila. I love tequila. I used to fuck with some spice rum, but nah, I don't really drink it anymore.
If Shep ever looks at you and goes like this,
That's
buy
true.
him a turkey and Coke.
The Vogue used to have
Buy him a turkey and Coke.
That's what I
either
do
25
to,
cent or
like, people
50
I work
cent
there, really.
Long Island teas, or
25. Wait, these are the
25 or 50 cent Long Island teas and
Mondo Mondays?
kamikazes.
prices on Mondo Mondays.
No, this is before the first year they opened. There were nickel beer nights. We used to have nickel beer nights.
You used
you
to
go
do
in with a buck.
kamikazes. Is that what you're saying?
Drop 100 bones almost. Ew.
I fucked with
Cultures-
some kamikazes though. in my
Cultures
time.
reflect the hit movie of the time. The year Animal House came out was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Everybody started getting kegs at home.
Yeah.
Toga parties started coming out.
Because it gave people an example of how to.
Yeah.
There's a roadmap.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you want to have
That's the
party?
same reason everybody
No,
loved
dude,
Hunter S.
dude.
Thompson and Tom Wolfe. Hey, they showed us the roadmap. They did this, so it is possible to do again.
Yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson is directly responsible for more substance abuse in North America than any other single human being. And God bless him for it.
He's one of the reasons I tried psychedelic drugs in my early 20s or late teens and early 20s. Not gonna lie, I read his books and tried.
We
some
used to
psychedelics.
run to get the Rolling Stone to see the next edition of Fear and Loathing. And, there it was, it wasn't there one week, and you go, oh, fuck. Yeah, it came in on Thursdays at the corner drugstore.
Did you ever get to meet the
How much
man?
does it cost?
Ooh.
I want to say probably $1.35, maybe.
Did you ever get to meet the man? Ever?
No, never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes.
Ooh.
Never meet your heroes. I loved a band called Humble Pie. It was just a band I liked. They had some good, long, grinding songs. Yeah, good band.
Yeah.
So I bought the act for Indianapolis for the Vogue. And here it is, the tour bus pulls up. And the manager comes out and he goes, you got the VSOP? And I said, cognac, and I said, yeah, sure, here. I gave him a bottle and I walked with him back to the bus. And we gave it to the guy. And Steve Marriott looked at it and looked at me and he goes, this is VSO, this isn't VSOP.
Oh no.
What the hell, man? Get the right goddamn cognac. And it's like, oh, I hate you. I liked you a lot. I was excited to meet you, and now I hate you.
Yeah.
And you're in a band called Humble Pie.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Well,
ironic.
that yes, it was called Steve Marriott's Humble Pie.
Have you met any of your heroes?
Yeah. In ways, yeah. Yeah.
Did go well.
Well, let's just say that there's two kinds of musicians, truly. You're either cool or you're basically a piece of shit. And there are a lot of piece of shits out there that like treat people differently because they think they're, oh,
Yeah,
Holier than thou.
what the fuck ever. Like, but I would say for the most part, most people are cool as shit.
yeah.
Yeah. I believe in that. I believe that most people throughout walks of life are cool as shit. So at least maybe I just draw cool ass fucking people into my life. like y'all motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't know, but I seem to meet a lot of cool ass people in life. So very rarely, but sometimes it is those motherfuckers. You know, I think they're fucking top notch shit or whatever. Like, God, be cool, man.
Yep.
But dude, yeah, go ahead.
Most of my heroes have been pretty decent. There was one kind of dick move, you know. I mean, it wasn't really a dick move. He was just being obnoxious. But I'll tell you, it's kind of in this habit of being a band. I snuck backstage I was mid early 20s. Slipknot, right? Slipknot,
Hell yeah.
right? And I had a side stage pass because I was with the local band and I was helping them out.
That's cool.
And so,
What local band?
What
local band?
Threat Level, Frank Rick Patrick, and Troy Welch. They're a metal band. But they were playing like I can't remember if it was like a Project or a Mayhem or so. It was one of those things.
Okay.
But I used it and I got backstage at the main area, right? And I got backstage and the Slipknot dudes were walking around and they were getting ready to play. And Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, just came up to me and he goes, I don't know you. And then started jumping up and down around me in a circular motion and like saying, stiff as the board, stiff as the board, stiff as the board, stiff as the board. And then shoved me, pushed me to the ground. And then went about his day.
Did you ask him where he gets his drugs? Because I'm interested in knowing. That's
Corey
crazy.
Taylor from Slipknot.
That's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
and Mick and
He had to be fucked up.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy.
That's fucked up.
It
It
was
makes me
crazy.
not like him.
Just crazy.
And I like Slipknot. I literally like Slipknot. And I'm like backstage. I'm innocent. I'm like, I snuck backstage. Okay, cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. You know, and
Yeah.
like Motorhead was there. Let me walk past. I didn't say anything to Lemmy. You don't talk to God, you know. But Lemmy was there. I didn't talk to him or anything. But like, yeah, when I was coming back from when Lemmy was walking by, Slipknot was standing right there. And yeah. Yeah, it was weird. Very weird. But yeah, he pushed me.
My wife has a ring of Lemmys.
Ring Lemmy's.
No, Lemmy always wore big rings.
Yeah.
Well, she ended up with one of them.
Nice. All right, the only big ring I wear is the Cubs replica championship ring, you know, that we won over the Cleveland Indians.
I usually wear rings.
Yeah.
I got one of those what are they, the Lord of the Rings? The fucking precious. Yeah. The one ring that rules them all.
One ring to
By the way, if anybody ever tells you I'm cool, they're lying to you. I'm a dork. Yeah, I'm a big dork. But oh yeah, Pixie. What about you?
When I was in high school, I volunteered for the Mike Shinoda Foundation that plants trees in places where there were like natural disasters and stuff. So me and my friend got tickets to Project Evolution, and we got to meet Streetline Drum Corps, Hawthorne Heights, and Atreyu. And then one of the people also got to go like meet Lincoln Park and stuff like that. The Streetline Drum Corps actually helped Lincoln Park open up, like they were part of Lincoln Park's act for the evening. So I got to meet Hawthorne Heights, who sounded like absolute shit live, and I was so disappointed in how bad they sounded because I was in my super emo phase and loved some fucking Hawthorne Heights, and they sounded horrible. And then Atreyu came on after them, and they sounded fantastic. And then I met Streetline Drum Corps, and then I met Hawthorne Heights, and everyone in Hawthorne Heights was just absolutely fantastic. They were super sweet. They were all like
They're doing the orchestra thing soon.
very respectful and stuff. They were really fucking cool. And then I met Atreyu, and Atreyu was like, "We will only sign things that you bought from us. Do not speak to us. Continue moving. Don't make eye contact. Blah blah like type shit. Just go go go." And they were all.
I give you so much of my energy.
I was
Do
so
not talk to
excited
me.
see them and was so disappointed that they were such assholes, especially after sitting like. I was like 16 and Streetline Drum Corps gave me a fucking shot glass that they all autographed. And like Hawthorne Heights sat and talked with us for a good 15 minutes because since we volunteered, they stuck us at the end of all the lines. So we were the last people to come through. So we actually had to sit and talk to the bands for a few minutes. And fucking Streetline Drum Corps was cool. Hawthorne Heights, they were super sweet. They were all really nice. JT wasn't doing vocals at that show. He wasn't at that one. I think it was like 2008 or something like that. Yeah, it was good, but like I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I really liked Atreyu at the time.
That's why I will never. So don't meet your heroes. The one person I will follow that with is I will never want to meet Maynard. I love Tool, love Pussfer, love
You're
Perfect
an
Circle.
asshole.
Maynard, I have heard from many stories from people that have met him, that have like done the meet and greet things, like at his wine thing. He fucking hates everybody. Like he absolutely is just like does not have time for anybody. I've met all the dudes in Pussfer. I've met all the dudes in Perfect Circle. And every time I've met them, like, you know, after a show, like you wait for the bus or whatever, outside or whatever to meet the bandmate, he literally gets in an SUV and goes to their hotel immediately after the show. Like when the curtain drops, he's gone. So like one hero I will never want to meet just because I don't want that ruined for me and like him be an asshole to me is Maynard from Jewel. Oh, and the Slipknot, I looked it up. It was 2012. It was Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, Anthrax, As I Lay Dying, Devil Wears Prada, Asking Alexander, and Whitechapel. That was the
So
show I
was-
snuck backstage in. And Corey pushed me down. Yeah, Corey Taylor, you're a dick.
I always find it funny how often like I'll start talking to somebody, I'll be like, oh yeah, I saw this band back in blah blah blah.
I had to look it up.
I
I had to look it
was
up.
at that show. I was at that concert.
And look, how many concerts in your lifetime?
Go fuck
Let's
yourself.
do it.
So many, man. But
I mean, we're all of us
I
sitting
can
here in the
find
hundreds, right?
Two
Hundreds.
that I find three that I cherish. My first concert was the Beatles. It's online,
Where at?
Coliseum.
Really?
Yeah.
You were
Nice.
Pepsi Coliseum Beatles guy,
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was. Was it Pepsi back? I don't think
or was it
Pepsi
the outside or inside?
No,
Market
inside.
Square Arena, right?
No,
No,
not
no. Pepsi. Well, we call it the Pepsi Coliseum.
Oh,
right
you're
now I
talking
think it's
about the
Farm
state
Bureau
fairground.
Coliseum.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
But
what
the
Beatles were.
Coliseum.
So that was your
64.
That was your first concert.
That was the first.
You were
I-
9.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
fucking
to-
dope.
I got to see Tom Waits on the Small Change tour, and and the video at the Agora Theater in Cleveland is still up on YouTube. So is Alex Harvey at the Agora Theater in Cleveland, who I also saw there. And there's nothing better in the world than being able to see a video of a show you were at
Oh.
before they had video.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I do. So
Agora's been bootlegging for
I kind of
years.
that's why I do at Punk Rock Night. That's why I post 2 or 3 videos from each band every time I go. Like, and I'm watching it. That's why I post it. I archive it. You know,
Yeah.
I just it's there. Like it's
I actually have a rule about it though. I'm at a big show or from when we went to Vegas, System of a Down. Before we even went to Vegas, I was like, all right, Sky, so these are the songs that I want you to record
right.
because I will not be standing there
Yeah.
the entire show with my phone above my
I've
head.
learned
Why
I've
why
learned
would I do that if 50 other people are doing it?
Mhm.
And that's often why I don't take video and stuff at Punk Rock Night because why?
Yeah, dude.
I've learned that instead of the up here, I've learned the
Mm-hmm.
right here. You hold it at the chest level, and it gets what you're basically seeing. You know, but that's why I do it. I mean, now we can video
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, and
And I'm also glad we didn't have video back in the day.
Yeah,
right.
I bet.
So that's the
Hi,
video
we
one
have
film.
we have 30 under 21ers in here, and they're all drunk.
Yeah. To get insight to like how I am, like if I'm like working and stuff, you know, I've got my phone and shit, but I'm not trying to be on it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But last night I got to the mill at 8 something, and I put my phone down on the first table by the soundboard. And the next time I picked it up was around 2:30 in the morning. That some like I try not to be on my phone at home, at work, in life. Like,
That's not me.
you know what helps though? When your fucking phone is like being used as a camera for 3 hours. So it's like you get used to it, yeah. But weren't times, but they had to be way cooler, like not having phones, you know, everybody walking around with a phone. It had to be way. I mean, I experienced it a little bit,
I
but
experienced it a little bit when I was younger. We used to there was a place out in Whiteland. They just called it the property. It was this church property, like an extra property where they just kept their trailers. They had like a little dilapidated barn that had a fucking hay trailer in it. And we would set up shows in there. And so we're like 16 and we'd pile, like, I remember all of us going to the gas station from the show because like 6 of us had to pee. So we put about 8 or 9 people into like a little bitty 4-door car.
Yeah.
And we're probably going maybe 80 down the road. And somebody was like, oh, look, railroad tracks. And like, and this is, we're like 16, everybody's drunk, and there were no cameras, there's no fucking pictures of proof of that shit, like, except for those of us who remember going to those shows out at the property in the middle of fucking nowhere in Whiteland.
Yeah.
They'd set up the bands would set up on the fucking hay trailer because one of the drummers' dads owned the Vineyard Church in Whiteland, who owned the property, so they could fucking use it for whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
And there'd be like 100 fucking people out there, just a bunch of kids.
Yeah. The one thing cool about phones for sure, because I can't be hating too hard, because I mean, look at what we're doing. This is mostly shot through iPhone, you know,
4 or 5, 4 iPhones.
whatever. But it's way more cooler than that usually because of the sound word. But my point is, when I do have my phone out at a show, if I'm doing video, bro, like I've got 1 minute to capture something cool.
Yep. That's
And
why I try to keep it 1 minute.
Last time I got
That's the people's attention span.
Right.
Nowadays. That's their attention span.
I pretty much make reels. If it's in front of a stage, I'm gonna make the dopest, best one that I can, and I do it like in 1 minute. I fucking
way more energy than you do.
I know, but I do it like I own it. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I will put that phone right next to your fucking guitar head. I don't give a fuck. And that's why I do it in photos too. Same energy, but it's a lot cooler only doing 1 fucking minute. But you know, motherfuckers, you know, like fucking not moving, just staying there holding it. I used to do it. I do it sometimes, but
I try to get 2 or 3 songs from each band.
I don't want to stand there and stare at my phone.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. I'm
It's
here
my
to
living.
experience
It's my
it.
living journal.
Keep
It's my
going.
living journal. It's my hobby. It's what I like to do.
mhm.
So I'm just.
Yeah, you're good at it though,
I'm glad
man.
you do.
I do. Yeah. So some people like
Thank
you don't have to.
Yeah, so I don't have to. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Most of the recorded
If-
videos that
if
I
you-
share of my bands are the ones that he makes. Like legit, dude. Like they're my favorite music video or like a song recorded by somebody on video, whatever, is the one that you made out in fucking Greencastle, Newcastle.
Really?
Like, yeah, man,
When
like
you were on LSD.
well, he recorded a song
Circle back.
that Like a Tiger does.
Yep.
Fuck me, I can't remember the name of it.
It'd take me
Uh,
some digging, but I can find it.
Both my band members, if they're watching, they're like, "You motherfucker, how can you not?" But dude, you did such a good job. It was really good, man.
I use my Facebook is my living journal. I know I put a lot of stuff out there, but a lot of it is literally me writing to myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to write down on a pen and piece of paper. I mean, I don't.
The problem is, if we want to access something in our memory,
Yeah.
Facebook will not allow us to find that one memory. Hi, on this date, I posted something I want to see.
Yeah,
Where is it?
It's only when that date comes around.
Yep.
It's only when that date comes.
Right, but that database is there
Right.
and it should be allowed to be searched because I'm still trying to find the opening paragraph for this fucking church.
That's fair.
You know, I just want, one fucking
I
paragraph.
don't need to keep it. I mean, the pictures of my kids. The pictures of my kids. Some of the videos of bands. I don't need to keep it forever. But I just. It's where I word vomit,
I have
man.
pictures on my Facebook that
Yeah.
I took off of my MySpace when I hit.
oh yeah, my MySpace is still up. You can check it out.
MySpace.
Right.
Did you do
No,
MySpace?
dude.
I
Bill?
still got my space.
There
I
you
haven't
go.
visited in a
We gotta
while.
get him on Twitch.
But
We
I
gotta
got
get the church
some.
on Twitch and
I got
streaming.
I got pictures of Cleveland, the naked sock puppet, stoned out of his mind in Amsterdam.
See,
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Endless stories. I don't. A sock puppet in Amsterdam?
Cleveland, the naked sock puppet.
Okay.
That's it.
Cleveland was on Bob and Tom show.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Cleveland has been a friend of mine from way before Bob and Tom.
Right. Did you got to go on the Bob and Tom show quite a few times, right?
I was the fucking hand in the box.
Mhm.
Oh, hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah, I mean they had the TV show,
Nice.
and we were part of the opening sketch, opening credits. Yeah, weird times.
Back when you lived in Cleveland, was Big Chuck and Little John a thing?
Big Chuck, Little John, and the Ghoul. Can't forget the Ghoul.
Yeah.
Ghoul was is one of my hair idols.
Hell yeah.
That and the lab coat.
Because my parents, they like ran and then owned their own newspapers in Northern Ohio. And I've met those two, yeah, I've met George Voinovich. I'm sure you remember him, but he, yeah.
I recognize the name, but I can't put a face.
I lived there from 83 to 1999.
Okay. I was there until 76, 75.
Right on.
Somewhere in there.
So Voinovich was definitely not involved. He actually ran for presidency, I think, last round. Yeah.
Nice.
From Ohio.
Okay, that's where I know the name then, probably.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I find that really intriguing that you're out there. A lot of people in this music scene are from Ohio. Just saying.
In 1970,
right? Ohio is for lovers.
1974, the mayor of Cleveland got busted for having a new suit every day, and he made the taxpayers.
Huh.
Yeah, it was. He did. He looked damn good too, but every single day he had a new suit, and I think the Plain Dealer in Cleveland broke the article saying that the taxpayers have been paying for all his suits. I love Cleveland. Cleveland in the 70s was very special because there was bombs going off all the fucking time.
Really?
You heard? Oh yeah.
What was
the Irish and the Italians were having issues with each other, and bombs going off were there were 2 or 3 a day sometimes.
There's a documentary about this.
Danny Green.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah, that was real shit going on. You heard a car backfire, you jumped and you hit the ground.
They made a film about him.
Oh, they made a couple.
Great. Yeah. They just made another one like in the last year, and it's like really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wait. It's in the last 10 years. It's played by John. I don't know. It came out. It's played by Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp plays Danny Green.
It was made in the last year too. No, wait. It was made in the last.
Hey, I'm feeling that Delta 9. I normally drink. I always typically drink on the shows, but yeah, I figured I'd roll this way today.
You did smash that water. I'm proud of you.
I drink. You have no idea how much water I drink. I probably drink 2 liters of water a day.
Good man.
I need water.
Water's good for you.
Yeah.
I need water. I drink this.
That's why when I sweat a lot.
Right here.
I do, dude.
This are about to go bye-bye. It's like
I try everything in my power not to drink soda. If I have to have flavor, then I do Monster, like 0 calorie shit. I know it's not bad for you because it's like we don't really know what's in it. You know what I mean?
I know it's not bad for you because we don't really know what's in it.
Well, and that's the thing about this, Delta 9 stuff and the Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, whatever. They're fucking. Are they really marijuana? Are they though? Do you really know? Is it? They used to put Coke in Coca-Cola.
No.
Who knows what they're putting in these monsters?
No, wait.
I'm just saying.
No. Here, check this out.
Some fucked up shit.
I saw a thing where somebody brought up they used to put Coca-Cola. So they still put Coca-Cola.
Hell yeah.
But they have chemically and manufacturally been able to strip the the psychoactive.
It's called
chemical,
Detroit 9.
It's stripped of the plant, but the cocoa plant is still used to make Coca-Cola. It's still used. They just strip it of the drug. They
extract the drug.
Correct, and then they sell it to pharmaceutical companies for like lidocaine.
Yeah.
Like prescribed, legit, legal cocaine in pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola sells it to them. That's what the whole thing was about. Is that Coca-Cola makes money from the pharmaceutical company because they give them the active drug that they've stripped from this plant for their drink.
So that means
It's fucking
Coca-Cola.
insane.
Coca-Cola
It's selling cocaine
has a license.
to sell cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
Well,
Have you ever
wait,
had
wait.
a fucking
You have to
Coca-Cola from
realize-
McDonald's?
So when
yeah.
you hear somebody
Fire.
say they don't put cocaine in Coca-Cola, you'd be like, no,
They do.
Coca-Cola sells it to pharmaceutical companies now
yeah.
because they do.
Yeah. I mean,
Pretty fucking crazy.
And then they mix up the taxes because they do it in different countries, so they only pay like 1% tax in Belize. It's
if I could grow anything in my yard, it would be peanuts. So I can have endless peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
There's some on sale
That's right,
on
the grass-
Keystone in the closeout aisle at 65th and Keystone. They have about 5 different kinds of, I noticed this yesterday, 5 different kinds of peanut butter, hazelnut butter, almond butter.
Oh yeah, they're making all the new kinds.
Yeah,
of
but they're on the
flavors.
closeout section now, so they're only $2.50 instead of $7.
Get you that good peanut butter for cheap.
Like, there's this place on the east side. Fuck. It's not. Is it Basbo's? It's Basbo's with the monkey.
On the east side. Where's Basbo's on the east
Or what
side?
is it?
Are you talking about on
There's a
Massachusetts?
okay. There's a pizza place off of like 10th and Emerson, or no, it's over there in that little strip in Irvington. Anyways,
Giacomo.
Giacomo's,
Yeah.
dude, they got
Yeah,
this.
know your pizza place.
They got this
son.
pizza. They put like a peanut oil like sauce on it or whatever. Whatever. There's a name for it. I'm ignorant as fuck. But they put like pickles and fuck man, like
Being ridiculous.
shit
It's
like
gross.
chicken
No, not
or
pickles.
whatever. It's
Pickles
so
are
fucking
gross.
good, y'all.
Pickles are
You gotta
gross.
try it. It's called
Pickles are gross.
I think it's called like it's a letter.
I will not try it. Pickles are gross.
Where I wish somebody online would be like, bro, it's called this. But anyways, you gotta check that out.
Your brother's a fan of Giacomo's.
Mm.
Hopefully he's watching. He'll tell you.
I'm not big on pizza for some reason.
I don't know why. But
Imagine.
I moved to a town that has
but
2 pizza
Domino's
places.
is
That's it.
garbage. Domino's is like the
Food.
it's the I'm drunk pizza. It's,
All fast food is garbage,
it's
man.
Domino's. I'm a pizza snob.
We have the better
You know,
ingredients.
you're talking best pizzas. You
My
need to go to
ass.
Pequod's, Nick and Vito's, Chicago. Did you ever go to Nick and Vito's?
Go, the place right off
Future-
the circle has New York style.
Giorgio's. They're good. They're good.
Giorgio's
They're
is
good.
good.
7.5. Yeah.
And there's a place up in Zionsville that has a New York style pizzeria. And somebody took me up there once, and I was very amazed.
There's
They-
a place in Carmel called Roselli's that does a buffet deep dish that I really like. Futuro is really good. Shout out to Futuro. I miss Grumps. Futuro is really good. They have the Detroit style. And then the pizza though, like the best all pizza ever. If you're doing deep dish, it's Pequod's in Chicago. If you're doing thin crust, it's Nick and Vito's on the south side of Chicago, and they have been there for over 100 years. And their oven stone that they cook on in their oven, like they've upgraded their oven, but the oven stone that is literally in the oven that they cook on is 100 years old. So you're literally getting
That's wild.
It is the best cracker crust you will ever eat in your life.
I'll tell
It
you,
is-
dude.
I know, like you all talking about like cocaine and drugs and LSD. For me, it's pizza. It's fucking pizza is my crack cocaine. And so anytime I go on trips, we go anywhere, I'm trying that motherfucking pizza. And yeah,
Hell yeah. I'd say 9 out of 10 times if I'm ordering pizza, I'm getting it from the grocery store and it's called Tostitos.
no,
And
I
that
mean
shit,
it's okay.
that shit's
It's okay.
fire. I love it.
To be basic, but I
What?
just get
Oh,
I love Papa John's.
with these people.
Mhm.
Sorry.
But the best of the best will always be Donato's.
Donato's.
Sorry.
Donato's is not.
Donato's
a
has a
but it's
great
still a
thin
good
crust
6.
pepperoni pizza.
Mhm.
What's your favorite?
Donato's has a great thin crust
Yes, they
commercial
do.
pizza that's very good.
It's a 6. It's a good 6. It's
Chicken mariachi, extra sour cream. That's what's up. Their subs are fire. The breadsticks are dope. Their cheese sauce is the best.
We went to a really good. Me and Danny went to a really good place the other day, at Carmel, called Pies and Pints, and they put literal marinated steak on my pizza, and it was glorious. It It was really good. She got a chicken gouda on her half, and I got steak and oh, what was it? Was it capicola? I think it was capicola on my side. I got the meat. So I was getting the meat. So
Yeah.
but it's a solid 8. It's probably the best pizza I've had this year in Indiana. It's pies and pints and caramel.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it out sometime. Never
Well,
had it.
they let us bring. She was able to bring her dog in, so that's why we went, because Kronk was able to sit
You
outside.
can do that for dinner.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go. I mean, it's a drive, but it's worth the pizza. It's worth the pizza.
Shit, everywhere I go is a drive. Closest fast food
What's your-
restaurant to my house is
What's your
fucking
favorite
20
local
minutes.
restaurant you visit all the time? Like you're going to get dinner.
We eat at Shapiro's more than anywhere.
Shapiro.
Right on.
That's my
Oh, yeah.
grandfather's spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, corned beef. I mean, but man, you gotta take a bucket in there with some cash. It's
And
you don't
no.
talk about
I'm sorry.
$20 corned beef sandwich.
You know, it's a $16 to $18 sandwich there.
Woo.
Fucking hamburgers are
I
now
get it.
$15.
I get it. It is good. No,
You know?
Shapiro's is good. Don't get me wrong. I love Shapiro's. I grew
You
up going
can't
to
get
Shapiro's.
better bread because
I've-
they have that thick slice shit.
I've been going to Shapiro's for 30 years. I've just like watched the prices just like throughout my life. Just
Come on. You want to pick on price inflation.
oh
No.
No.
Coffee.
that's
Coffee.
fair.
I got a fucking. We
I got
could go
two
to
girlfriend-
Waffle
I got
House
two
and for
girlfriends that-
90 cents we can get an endless carafe of coffee.
So I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee at all. I got 2 girlfriends that madly addicted to coffee. It is horrible. It is like when are we get Starbucks? How can we work in a trip to Starbucks? Can we at least go to the gas station and get the Starbucks? Can we do? It's coffee. Nothing is happening until these 2 women drink coffee, and if it is, it's bad.
I like
So
Sky for coffee. most
Coffee,
times.
like I don't. Are you a
Roxy.
coffee guy?
I am, if I have the right creamer.
Right,
Okay.
creamer.
Like,
I don't
I'll fuck
get it.
with some. I'll fuck with some like Dunkin' Donuts coffee or some like what's
I
that?
don't get coffee. I don't get
You
the
drink
coffee.
Mountain Dew and
What's
you don't
that
get
place?
coffee.
I do. It's the
So,
devil.
I
Starbucks,
always say
dude.
that like
I
coffee
like
the
some
way
Starbucks
people
here and there,
like
but
their coffee.
no.
I like my sugar with coffee
That's-
cream. I don't actually like the taste of coffee. Usually I pour up and I leave about this much space.
That's my
at the
friend
top of my
Roxy.
fucking cup
Roxy says hi.
Because I want to fill it up with creamer and like I want it to almost be syrup by the
Mm.
time I'm ready to drink it.
Oh, I can't do the coffee. Do I? My friend Teresa, she drinks because I'll drink coffee.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by coffee drinkers. I'm the
So-
only one that doesn't drink. So you know what I get?
Oh yeah,
You know what I get at Starbucks?
coffee.
No, yeah. I
Tea.
get the
And the
little
pink drink.
dragon
The
fruit,
pink drink.
poofy,
yeah, I knew it.
foofy, pink refresher.
Refresher.
Yep,
Mhm,
that's what
the
they always get me.
refresher.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
Dude.
So
So I had this like list of questions I wanted to run over, and there's
Yeah.
still a couple left.
All right, let's do it.
So, Bill, what band do you think you booked the most in your lifetime?
Math bats.
Math Bats.
Math bats.
Math bats.
So were they a local band?
Yeah.
So that was
Absolutely
his
awesome.
Mr. Clip. That was his
If you
Mr.
do
Clip.
not know your Indiana rock and roll history, Math Bats opened up every major act.
Really, math bats.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
That's dope. Is there a show like that comes to mind that is like was just too insane?
Did any show get out of control?
Any DRI show.
DRI. Greg talks about DRI.
Yeah.
DRI's specialty is causing havoc at an event. And they're good. I don't remember a DRI show that we didn't have some kind of physical altercation.
Dude, so like they were like the crazy monsters, right? Like the wild ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. In our era, there was no fake mosh.
You're throwing your bodies, right?
Yeah. It was you got to realize that wrestling was a big thing, so you were in the pit and you weren't playing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now everybody's doing like throwing their hands and throwing their fucking.
There was no pit etiquette then, like there is now, where you pick people up when they.
What the
go
fuck
down.
is pit etiquette?
Exactly.
You have to properly mosh, and if somebody falls, you have to pick them back up. You have to help them up. You have to give them a hug. You have to give them a
Oh
hug.
God
and you
damn
have
it!
to pat
We
them
have
on
to
the
be
back.
kind, caring
You
people.
do.
What?
I mean,
I know, isn't that horrible?
It's the right
know,
thing.
but
It's
it's
the
a
right
mosh
thing
pit.
anyway.
People were carried out of the mosh pit.
Oh.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why people have pit etiquette.
I have another.
Yeah.
I have another Slipknot story.
Go for it.
Another Slipknot story. It's the last time I was ever in a mosh pit. All right. So, at a Slipknot show. Was that yes? Well, at a Slipknot show, and like 24, 25. I think it may have been this show. I think it may have been this show, whatever. But I went out to the mosh pit and I was doing the whole circle thing, and this dude who was maybe 6'2", 6'3", built, shirt off, like fucking jacked, bald head, just stuck his head down and rammed it into my chest. And every piece of air I had ever breathed in my life left my body. And I went down, they picked me up, I got out of the mosh pit, I sat down. I shit you not, I didn't move for an hour and a half. Because that I've never been in a mosh pit. I mean, outside the Mel, you know, the Mel, when things get a little rowdy
Not like a
there,
big,
it's
like,
not like a mosh pit,
shit.
whatever.
Fuck you,
But I will
mosh pit.
never go and like get in the shit now because of that man's bald head basically annihilating my sternum just out of nowhere. And it felt like a movie where I shot back 16 feet. Like a
Yeah.
shotgun blast hit me in the
That's
chest.
pretty much what happened to Sky.
And it was during Slipknot. And it was during Slipknot.
I
Yeah.
don't remember what band was playing at Punk Rock Night, but it was one of the Irish punk bands, and everybody got real fucking rowdy, so I moved Sky back by the VIP booth, and the fucking pit was almost as big as the fucking open area, the floor area, and then there was like Moses part of the fucking mosh pit, and this like 6.5 foot tall Irish dude just leans forward and comes straight at me. And I went to move Sky, but I wasn't fucking fast enough. We both went flying
Oh
back.
no.
And they smacked the back of their head on that little fucking table in the
That's
like,
right
booth
there,
or whatever. And they actually still have
Oh no.
to this day. There's still a bump on the back of their fucking skull from
What's
that.
your worst mosh pit story? Since we're doing that.
Well, I'm gonna have to go. So there was a making of a music video at the Melody Inn a few months ago,
Yes.
and there was like we were like legit moshing like for the video, and somebody just happened to fall back a little bit, just a little bit, and they took an elbow right to my rib, and I got 2 cracked ribs out of it.
I remember you telling me about that.
It hurt to do everything.
Did you ever get mosh were you
Laughing.
Ever,
Yeah.
yeah.
You ever get
Laughing
all
at-
fucked up, Brian?
Yeah.
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 The roughest mosh pit you partaked in.
Oh fuck, I don't remember. We were all drunk.
This is where the
Yeah,
beginning.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. We had bar fights every fucking week.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have them anymore. It was fun.
You just don't do them. They just don't have bar fights like they used to.
They don't.
Mm.
They don't.
Phil Keller says hello, Bill.
Hi, Phil. I love you.
Calls you a spring chicken.
Spring chicken. Fuck you, Phil.
So, but
Thank you for the compliment.
You had questions. You said you had
yeah,
questions.
yeah. There's not a specific show that comes to mind that was like insane crazy, like you'll never forget.
There's a lot of them. I mean, come on. Howard Johnson's in Guar.
Yeah, the one.
The Father's Day.
Yeah.
Father's Day Mondo.
What was that? What happened?
The Father's Day Mondo. We had we rented Dawson Lakes. It was I don't know, the Dicks, DOA, Toxic Reasons,
I
Sloppy
almost bought you a Dicks
Seconds,
album.
Math Bats, Latex Novelties, maybe. I don't know. We had a bunch of punk bands. We had we also had the Urban Guerrilla Pop Festival, which was the first punk festival in town. 70, that was 78, out at American Heritage Park. Your parents, Ed Ott and the Otters, and 7 or 8 other bands. And if you bought a ticket and you were over 21, it was free beer.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Free
So,
beer.
88,
I
fu-
still
88 fucking kegs of free
I
beer.
still can't get over the nickel beer and like free beer.
Alcoholism was a way of life
Yeah.
until 1988 when everybody got a computer that had a pie chart on it. And everybody realized their piece of the pie wasn't big enough. And then Mothers Against Drunk Driving came out that year. So all of a sudden, the cities getting their first pie charts figured that if they started taxing these drunk drivers
Yeah.
and billing them, that they could start making money. And then it became an industry.
Yeah.
To serve and protect was to now give out tickets and arrest because it made income for the city.
Yeah.
You know, there were thousands of us leaving Broad Ripple at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Greatest place to go was Waffle House because everybody was there. The after parties were always Waffle House.
We when we were doing the Volrath and Rock House shows, it was always afterwards at Pepe's in Fountain Square.
Yeah.
Pepe's in Fountain Square was a spot to go and get some
We used
food.
to play a
Now it's Hot Boys Chicken. Now it's Hot Boys Chicken. It's good chicken. Don't fucking get me wrong. It's
The one on 10th Street close to.
well, the one in Fountain Square is now Hot Boys Chicken, and it's some fucking fantastic chicken. Don't get me wrong, but yes, but I did learn the grill from the Fountain Square Pepe's. The grill from the Fountain Square Pepe's is in a Pepe's grill over by IUPUI now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they do smash burgers on it now, and you can still taste the old Pepe's grill because of the seasoning of the grill. It's over at IUPUI over near.
I want one of those smash burger things. The
Yeah.
things that flatten.
Yeah,
I want one of those.
they're good.
I have not ever seen you see all these grocery store displays in Target and Walmart. They don't have hamburger
been-
smashers.
Have you been to Working Man's Friend? They got the best smash burgers in town. Working Man's Friend, they're only open 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. They're 21 and up. You have to go to.
They're in the old Woolworths building downtown Fountain Square.
No. This is over off of Belmont, Belmont, Washington, on the west side. The person that owns it got it from her father, and he got it from his father. It's been in the family for like 100 years, and they do smash burgers there, and it's the best in town. Have you ever
Okay.
been to Working Man's Friend?
Check it out.
No.
No. Oh, it's so good. It's a staple. But they do the smash burgers there. It's
Okay.
really, really good. And you have to be 21 and up. They just Indiana passed a law recently that
Yesterday.
you can now take a minor into a bar as long as they have dining seating area.
Yeah.
But they established, as soon as that passed, they established we are still not letting children.
Yeah.
It's a 21 and up place.
Bless you.
But you were saying smash burgers. That's the best smash burger place in town.
I
I know the foods.
a little inside story. I have not been to a lot of restaurants in Indy because I
It's me.
married a woman and I was married to her for 10 years that had a stomach thing where if she was at a restaurant, like you would not even realize this was happening until she just pukes. So like we never went out to restaurants.
So that's me and Dan. It's me, Danny, and Jess's hobbies. We like to go to different places that like we've never been to before, or that are not franchises, not McDonald's, Taco Bell's. We like to. That's the thing. It's our thing.
I had a friend that I did a food adventure with.
That's what we do. That's what we call it.
Indie
Food.
Devour Indie when they do that in the winter.
We call it food adventuring. Is what we
They
do.
do a lot of restaurants in Indy.
It's fun. It's expensive, but it's fun.
Places that we would never eat, like fucking pastry bars and shit that I could never afford. They have discounted menus twice a year.
You should go with us. It's good.
So I had to tell you this story.
Okay.
About my ex-wife. She showed me the coolest thing ever, and I had no idea it was coming. I want every single person in this room and every person watching at home or wherever you are at work, strip club, where I want you to do this. So one night we were bored. We were just friends, really. We're kind of dating, whatever. But she's like, let's go to Walmart. It's like 11:30 at night. I'm like, okay. And we go in Walmart and we literally walk through that motherfucker and get every single thing that is necessary to murder somebody, clean up the evidence, chop up the fucking body, something to dispose of it. So we're getting bleach, we're getting rope, we're getting all this stuff. We're buying a shovel. We're buying chloroform. We're going all out. And we would have, well, like, anytime somebody walked up to us, or we saw somebody that's working, we'd ask them, like, hey, we're trying to find, what's that, like, chloroform. Like, I literally walked up to this guy, I was like, what's that stuff, like, if you hold it over somebody's face, they'll pass out? And they're like, chloroform? I'm like, yeah. They're like, whatever, fuck. Sorry, guys. But yeah. But we were doing that shit. And then we'd go to the front and we would sit there and watch, like, this person, like, looking at us like, what the fuck?
It'd be really fun to ring it up, and then when they give you the total, just run.
One time, like, people were, like,
I just saw
watching us. And we would just, like, ring everything up. This is the bad part, okay? Oh, I left my wallet in the car. We go, let's go get it. And then we would leave.
My kids texted.
But it's worth every bit of it. Just, remember,
Good times.
yeah, it's so much fun.
I remember
Getting reactions out of people.
random Walmart beats and just fucking walk around
Miss Walmart 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I
to
think
get
it's
my
good.
groceries in the middle of the night was so
Humans are not
glorious.
meant to be awake at those hours. Like, people that work third shift, yeah, they get paid more, but they're literally cutting off like 7 years at least of their life by
That's
working
true.
those shifts.
That's
Yeah.
true. Did you ever do a third shift job, Bill?
A what?
A third overnight job, like third shift?
I work for me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's one day
Yeah.
for me.
You know,
For real.
I worked for Karma Records.
Yep.
And I worked for Bath Iron Works. And I worked for Walker Research, dressed as Tony when Tony's Pizza first came out.
Huh.
And I would stand in the grocery store giving out free samples.
A pizza?
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
want free samples of
That
pizza.
was my first job at Dell Farm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you got only those 3 jobs?
I gotta know, how much
Working
did you
for
get
other
paid?
people.
Yeah.
For other
Yeah.
people, yes, other
Wow.
I
That's
you know,
That's a beautiful
I
thing.
have communication issues.
I like working for other people either, I understand.
I'm curious, like, what was your first job? How much did they pay you? Do you remember?
the where you
Passing
dressed
out
up.
pizza.
Yeah, passing out pizza.
Probably $1.75 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
But mine was McDonald's, and
Yeah.
it was $5.45. It was $5.45. McDonald's. Working the back drive-through window.
Technically, by
14.
social security number, my first job was Donato's, and it was
Okay.
$4.75 or
So you got
$4.50.
tips, right?
Yeah, like, shut the fuck up and make the pizza, or you're fired. 14-year-old squat, pimple face.
That's
Yeah.
14 at McDonald's, yeah. Yeah. My ex talks about she was working at 12, detasseling corn for $5 an hour cash.
Yep.
Yep.
Detasseling, like, it's some country shit. I'm from the city, so what's that mean?
Yeah.
But she tells me stories of being 12 detasseling corn for
Oh,
$5 an hour out in Shelbyville.
My grandma used to give me $10 an hour to clean houses with her started when I was like 10. And then when my dad would pay me $5 to $10 an hour to clean up work sites because he worked in construction and framed houses and just pay me to walk around and pick trash up.
My first real job, I worked for a company called DCS in Mansfield, Ohio, and they would print papers, put them on skids, ship them out like to people's houses, and you would break down the skid, and it's got like 7 different papers or flyers in it, and you take one of each, and then you put it in a bag, and then once you finish all that, you take those bags and you walk around and put them on people's door handles. And I got 20 every other week for doing that. And I did that while I was homeschooled in 7th and 8th grade. And the day I found out that it paid $500 a week was the last day that I delivered every single bag. Yeah, my biological father's a real piece of work.
Wow.
I don't talk to him.
Yeah,
He's a hateful person.
I did the flyer thing. Made $5 an hour doing it, going around
Mhm.
neighborhoods. Most of the time, you just throw away the flyers. Throw them away. I'm done.
So, Bill, gotta know, have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Ghost or entity.
I'll say yes. There was a table in my grandmother and grandfather's house that had a picture on it. And the day my grandfather died, I was in the middle of the damn table. But the day he died, that picture flew onto the floor. I mean, it just flew onto the floor. And I sort of said, what the fuck was that? We always had feelings that that house was haunted. 40 years after I moved out of that house, about 3 years ago, a woman called me up. She goes, did you own the house at 58th in Delaware? Did your grandparents? I said, yeah, my grandparents owned it, and then it was mine. She goes, is it haunted? And I said, yeah, there were some strange things that went on. And we talked about a few of the different things, and she said, thank you very much. So in this day and age, I do believe there is something unusual about that house, because my grandparents bought it from what my grandmother called gypsies.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed that there was something going on there that we couldn't put our finger on.
Yeah, dude. I lived in 2 haunted houses growing up, and what's wild is the one house that I lived in that should have been like 100. It's like now it's like 130 something years old. 100, probably more than that. Not even a little bit. It was like dead air. But the 2 houses before that were fucked up. Have you ever had any?
I've been in a few creepy places that felt wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I saw anything. I don't think I've ever seen anything, but I've definitely been in places that like felt weird, or like the energy was wrong, like I shouldn't be there. Like I was with a girlfriend. It was was it the Indiana School for the Deaf when it was abandoned or whatever?
Yeah, deaf school right by the
deaf school or whatever.
by the fairgrounds.
And and I toured that when it was abandoned and everything. It just felt weird. It felt like someone was there. Some abandoned churches in Chicago, I definitely felt like in the basement area, like exploring those, like there was something was down there, and you ever had that feeling of being watched, but you can't see anything, you can't find anything, but you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen, but I've never seen anything. I've never seen a white sheet ghost or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a spot in this church that people who smudge,
with the
sage,
sage.
they all go to this space and they go, something bad has happened here. Now, I'll show it to you later. It's downstairs in the classrooms. There's 2 doors open for storage and shit, and there's shelves.
Yeah.
And in the door, at about 4 feet 5 inches, somebody has poked a hole through from the inside to look out.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah. When we bought the church, there were boxes of tissue paper, boxes of snot rags in every single row. It's like, why do you have a church if you're going to make people cry.
Yeah.
But then again, they were selling real estate they don't own. No, we'll save you in the salvation of the afterlife. Give you 15%, you're going to sell me real estate that you've never seen?
Right.
Okay, good luck with that. Yeah. So there's a creepy spot down in the basement.
Right on. That's cool. Yeah, I've actually experienced something very similar to what you experienced in your house at work. That Domino's Pizza at 38th and Central.
Yeah.
If you ask any person that's, ran it, like a general manager, somebody that's there like 60, 80, 90 hours a week, whatever, they'll tell you they've had their experiences. It's very known, like in the Domino's world, that store's haunted.
Imagine
And
how many people have died at that location. I mean, not at that
let's
location.
not, yeah. I mean,
It's a rough neighborhood spot.
yeah,
You know?
I got robbed there. So, but one night I'm back in the back, I'm by myself. There's nobody else in the store, and I'm washing these dishes, and I go to get something like a towel or something. And as I'm walking back towards the sink area, there's a drop box is what they call it, where you put your tips.
Yeah.
And there is I can't remember if it was a screwdriver, some form of tools like a screwdriver, and it just flew off the fucking thing onto the ground, and I was like, whoa. But then right next to that is the bathroom door, and it's not on a close. It doesn't have a closer on it or nothing. It just slammed shut, like hard as fuck. And I'm like, dude, like, I was like, what the fuck? I was shaking a little bit. That scared the shit out of me. I'm staring at the bathroom. There's nobody in there. It just slammed shut. So what I did is I fucking put down the towel I grabbed or whatever, and I walked straight outside, and I stood there and I smoked a cigarette, and I waited there. I was like outside for like 10 minutes. So I was like, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes before I go back in there. Like, whatever, whoever's fucking pissed off, let them blow off their steam. I'm gonna come out here and chill. And that was like, that's it. I've never experienced anything else, dude. Like, I would go 9 months without a day off. I'd close that store every fucking day, like month after month, month after month. Never happened again. But that one fucking night, it fucking, yeah. But what about UFOs? You got any of that? You ever seen anything crazy in the sky?
Yeah, shooting stars,
What's up, Pixie? Shooting stars. That's always fun. It's cool.
Did you get all your questions done?
I mean, yeah, it's cool. Why are you wanting to wrap it up?
I would imagine that probably Bill is probably ready.
Right off.
Probably getting pretty close to.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of
This is pretty much
Thank you for allowing us to come here. Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Wrap things up, make sure, again,
Yeah.
services here at the First Church of Cannabis.
every Wednesday,
Every Wednesday,
7:30.
p.m. Doors open at 7. We're going to be at the Punk Rock Market at Long Shop at 1336 Shelby
pull that
Street on the 7th, so this Friday. We'll have lots of these and maybe another goodie or two. Lots
Oh,
of
shit, that's
these.
right. Forgot.
That's okay.
Welcome
Lots
back.
of these and maybe another few goodies to come.
Hell yeah.
meet Bill and
We'll be
let
selling.
us tell you what. the
Hi,
heck's
come
all
meet
about.
me. I'm going to hang
It's
out.
Punk rock night.
He's gonna be
Bill
at
on
the
the house,
punk rock
man.
night.
Yep, Punk Rock Night, 7.
So,
Punk Rock Market.
yeah,
Yeah.
it opens at 5, bands at 7. Rich would appreciate some band donations. These bands that are coming to play, the only thing they're going to get paid is what we donate. So when you get there, try to drop a couple bucks for the bands when you walk through the door.
Yeah, and also, if anybody wants to come play a couple songs during service, come up here and read something you wrote. Come up here and just talk about some love that you shared this week or something that made you smile. Please come see us.
I love all the people sitting at this table very much.
So,
Just wanna let
all right,
everybody know that.
Pixie, when did you start like working or helping with the Church of Cannabis?
I started around the beginning of this year, but I've been attending the online services for 7 years. Like I said, I was here for the opening service. I just didn't make it into the building. I didn't make it to the cutoff. I actually sat out in the lawn and was gonna watch the live stream, but the live stream didn't work, so I just sat in the lawn and vlogged for the whole service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I like
Hi,
also
Sky.
taking and trying to connect the music scene back to the church because Bill has had such an influence on the local.
Such a
music scene.
history.
Such
Yeah.
a history there, and we plug punk rock night every week. We plug the Mousetrap. We plug the Gas Kitchen. We've got different.
Speaking of food, you like the Mousetrap's food, don't you?
Yeah, I like them. The Mousetrap's one of the old school places left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mousetrap, Alley Cat.
They have an amazing
Right there.
grilled peanut butter and
Oh,
jelly
yeah.
with marshmallows and bananas.
Alley Cat still has that steak special. I
But yeah,
didn't know that.
so come see us. You guys come testimonial. Come tell us how your week was. Come sit here, share the love, share the smile. That's what we do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And also trying to put
Friday.
together some other events. So keep an ear out on that one, like some movie type stuff or just
Yeah.
things to bring people in. Maybe even put together a show here. Who knows?
Thank you for
Maybe
hanging
have a
out,
local
Bill.
show.
yeah, dude, thank you for having us.
Getting
and
him to sit still for 3 hours.
having
is
me
a rough
over
deal.
and checking out the,
Yeah.
it's the first time I've ever been here. So yeah, it's really cool to say that we actually did the podcast here too.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
also, you don't have to smoke marijuana to be a member of the First Church of Cannabis.
So it's about
It's not what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all about.
It's about love and life's
Love.
great adventure.
Yes,
Love.
and life's great
as
adventure.
Sky would do.
Live, laugh, love, learn, grow,
Sky,
teach,
Sky
create.
would.
Yeah,
Sky
that'll
would
work.
be putting up her heart hands right now.
Was it everybody?
All about
Never get
love,
bored of it.
homie.
Oh, it's right here.
All love.
Create, grow, teach.
so hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for
I love you.
I love you. I love you. I love
I
you.
love you.
I love
it was really cool. Pixie, you were able to come on the show and
And let's give a round of applause to Scotty.
Scotty, thank you.
Yay, Scotty!
Scotty. And Sky's back there.
sound guy.
All right. So
Save my
Sky.
ass.
I love Scotty. I'm glad that Scotty was here. He's definitely.
Hell yeah.
He is also church. We are the
Yeah.
church. Like this is.
He's the executive producer.
Scotty, if it weren't for Scotty, we wouldn't have our live streams, and he helped
There
us
they are.
steer us when
They're
the
back there.
bill
Say,
went
wave, guys. Say
Wave,
hey. All right.
Hell yeah. So yeah, thanks Pixie as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Everybody.
You guys are big help getting everything set up. It's a lot to do. So
Anytime.
hey, Wednesday night, we're doing Midweek Crisis. We've got Errol Katz coming on the show. He's
Oh,
been a musician.
My neighbor, tell him I sent my love.
No shit.
Hey, he lives right up the block.
That is fucking insane.
Everybody.
But for sure, also that is going to be in-house Wednesday. Some of my favorite fuckers, and that's Craig Chaos should be in,
Oh, nice.
and Robert Andres should be in as well. It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild. So check that out. 7 p.m. on Wednesday, Midweek Crisis. All right, y'all. Thanks again. This has been great. Y'all don't talk to strangers, right? If Robbo's here, you say turn off fucking headlights.
Keep to myself.
And we are the unheard. We are the overlooked. We are Chapel Liver. Cheers. And somebody's too slow to click the button. I just wanted to sing at least once before I hit the button.